like family. YouTube is a little bit different. It's family as well too, but it's just because of the platform. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Seven Circles. My name is Jonathan. I will be with you guys today. We're going to have some fun. So, what I'm going to be doing is we're going to be talking about all kinds of cool things today. We're going to be talking about crystals. We are going to be talking about different types of metals. I'm going to talk to you guys about silver. I'm going to be talking to you guys about copper. I even am going to be talking to you guys about, which a lot of people will like this. We're going to be talking about gold. I have some gold right here. And I also have a pocket full of gold right here. Right, these gold coins, which are 100% pure gold. And just so you guys can see over here, I'm on YouTube, by the way, and TikTok, so we're streaming simultaneously. Okay. So before we get started, and we might as well talk about this before we get started. What is a good thing to do when you're starting anything, whether if it's a ceremony or if it's just some type of spiritual practice, just to kind of set your intention and get your mind right. Okay, it's good to always like some sage or Palo Santo. Okay, and what this does, it basically clears the space, allowing to neutralize the room, and also it can be an indicator, right? An indicator that um, it's time to get activated, right? So it can act as a catalyst. It's also good for clearing your aura. All right, I'm gonna clear this aura up. When I first started using sage, which was like 15 years ago, I didn't like it, man. I didn't like the way that it smelled, but now I love it. It's really really good stuff. It's really good stuff. I always find it funny people who smoke don't like sage, like people who smoke cigarettes. I'd be like, what? Like I'd rather have sage than that, you know. So sage is cool. I'm gonna let this keep on burning. Okay. And Palo Santo. Let's add a little bit of this. This has a really sweet taste to it. This is like an actual tree out of South America. What they do is after the tree dies, right, and then they take it. You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. What do you call it? Um, kill the tree. Hey, good evening. Good evening. So Palo Santo does the same thing as well. It has more of a sweet taste or a sweet smell to it. Really, really good. I love it. It is like, oh my gosh. If you guys don't have any Palo Santo, you should get some. Relatively cheap. Don't get it from places like Whole Foods because Whole Foods, you know, they're kind of jippy with their stuff, right? Or not jippy, but expensive. Pretty much, they try to jip you off, is what I'm trying to say. Um, Man, nobody's on my YouTube channel. I don't understand YouTube. How is it that I got 6,000 people following me, but nobody's on? It's interesting, man. I'm not doing something right with YouTube. But anyway, can you guys hear me? Okay, is the music too loud or is it at a good volume? Let me know. Let me know. So anyway, uh, let's let's start. Let's start. So crystals are important, like I was saying, and they're important because you are a crystal. You have a lot of crystals inside of you. Your fascia tissue, which is like the substance that holds your muscles together. Okay, it's actually a liquid crystal. It can metamorph. It can turn from liquid to solid, but it's an actual liquid crystal. And of course, we know this is kind of common knowledge now. But your third eye, also known as your pineal gland, is actually a crystal as well too. It's an actual crystal, right? So crystals are important. Crystals are really important. And crystals essentially is the highest evolution of a rock. So if you think about a regular rock, let's use something like I guess you could say one of these, right? These would be like a regular rock or something. Let me show you guys. Okay. So if you think about the evolution of like the mineral kingdom, right? You have many different types of minerals. But once you get to a higher stage of evolution, then you actually start to get crystals. So these things that I'm going to be talking about today, because I'm going to be talking about moldavite, I'm going to be talking about labradorite, rose quartz, turquoise, things of that nature. Some of them aren't crystals. Like for instance, moldavite is not a crystal. Moldavite is actually an asteroid. It's something called a tektite, but it still has properties to it. It still has spiritual properties to it, right? So that's important to note. Just because it's not a crystal doesn't mean that it doesn't have an energy signature to it. So, for instance, I was in Arizona. I went to Arizona, Sedona, Arizona. I went there. I don't know. Maybe it was 4 months ago, 5 months ago, with Ellie Tom Elamine, the Breatharian. We did a retreat, and when I was out in Sedona, in one of the vortex areas, I actually found these stones right here. This stone, okay, this comes from Sedona, and it's nice and big, right? And then this one as well too. And they were kind of the same size, so I thought that it would be cool to take them so that I can meditate with them. But when I hold these stones, okay, I can actually feel the energy of Sedona. It takes me back there in my memory, but I just can feel it. And to charge them up, what I do is I leave them outside in the sun, and they get charged up with more of that earth energy, and then I can utilize that energy, whether it was for grounding or things of that nature, right? And so this is an example of how crystals, right? You don't necessarily need to have crystals in order for them to assist you on your spiritual journey. Just like anything, just like a knife if you're in the kitchen cooking, or just like if you are a painter and you have a paintbrush, okay, those are just tools, right? You can still be a painter without those paintbrush. You can still be a chef without the knife. And when it comes into spiritual alchemy, when it comes into preparation for ascension, preparation to change your life, you don't necessarily need any of the stuff. You don't need a sage. You don't need the crystals. You don't need the copper, which is or the silver, etc., which is known as a poly crystal. You don't need any of those. But it's good to have help. It's good to have friends. Just like maybe sometimes you can get through things by yourself, but it's good to have friends and family. So these are our friends, and they're here to help us. So all you gotta do is ask, right? Mother Nature, she provides everything that you need, everything, everything, and she provides it for totally free. You don't need to labor. You don't need to pay any tax. You don't need to stand in a long line in order to get it. All you got to do is go outside, say, Mother Nature, help me out, Mom. Mom, help me, and Mom's going to help you out. So it's just like that. So let's get into some of these things. I guess we should start it off with quartz crystal, since I have this hanging up here. Okay, and this thing is heavy. And here is a quartz right here. I'm going to be looking around because I have a bunch of uh, items just lying around everywhere. So quartz crystals, right? Here's one right here. This is more of like a wand. So it really all depends on. So it really all depends on what you want to do with the quartz crystals, and what shape you want it in. Because the quartz crystal, it comes in many shapes. So for instance, this one would be nice to have in your room, like in a wide space. This way you can radiate the energy out in many different directions. And you're also going to notice that it always has a point on the top, right? This is the way that it naturally forms, which is a hexagon, a six-sided geometrical shape. Um, yeah, you can charge these up, and this is for all quartz. You can charge them up in the sun. You can charge them up in the moon. You can take them and put them on the earth and get some of that earth energy. What's also good about quartz crystals is that they hold a lot of memory. So think about like a flash disk, right? Or think about some other type of disk that you might use for like a cell phone or a camera or something, gigabytes, right? The amount of information that a quartz crystal can actually store is humongous. I mean, just something as small as this right here can record probably the history of the, I don't want to say of the universe, but probably the history of the whole entire galaxy. Like the amount of information that you can fit in something like a quartz crystal is just a lot. It is a lot. I don't have the exact number, but it's a whole lot. It will blow any type of flash disk or any type of thing like that out of the water. Out of the water. So it's a good crystal to have. It's also good because you can program it. You can program it whatever you need it for. And so, how do you program it, right? So the first thing that you want to do is you want to clean it, and the way that you clean it is a good way is to put it in ocean water or salt water. Another good way to clean it, we talked about how you can charge it up by putting it outside. That's actually going to be cleaning it as well too. So you're going to need to reprogram them again after you charge them up. Uh, yeah, so that's very very important to note. Just to let you guys know on TikTok, for some reason my phone it keeps saying updated, updated, updated. So it might cut off and it might go through an update. If it does go through an update, follow me on YouTube and I would have to reboot it. But then obviously it's gonna take time to update. So just to let you guys know, okay. So yeah, quartz has so many purposes. Obviously they use it in technology. I think you guys know that they use it in computers, cell phones, which we're operating through right now. They use it on the watch, which is why it's called quartz. They use it in a lot of things, and quartz has a special property about it, which is why they use it. It's something called piezoelectric. It's piezoelectric. So what that means is, if you apply pressure to it, you're going to actually get a spark. You're going to get electricity from it if you apply pressure to it. So if it was completely pitch black in here, I could show you guys something, and you can try this on your own with the quartz crystal. But go into a room where it's completely black, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take a quartz crystal. It doesn't have to be this big; it can be any size, and you rub it like this. I felt like I inhaled that. Wow, that was crazy. Anyway, that was crazy. Anyway, you rub it like this, right? And if you do that in a dark room, literally what you're gonna see is you're gonna see this whole entire thing light up. It starts sparking a whole lot and it lights up really really bright. But that's not necessarily the piezoelectric. But if I was to take a hammer and it was completely black and I bang this, you would see sparks fly out in many many different directions, many directions. Like quartz crystal is like that. It's a really powerful stone, and again, you can program it to be anything. So we're going to be talking about like many other crystals. Any other crystals that we're talking about, really, you can program quartz crystals to do the exact same thing. So you might ask yourself, then why are people getting so many other different types of stones if you can use quartz uh, to to do that, right? And I guess it's because the shape, maybe I'm not sure, because I have a lot of different crystals as well too. I'm attracted to them. I like them, and I also give them away too. For me, it's come to the point now because I've been collecting crystals for about 20 years. It comes to a point where it's a constant rotation. I'll give some away to people that I think need them, or my spirit's telling me to give it to them. And then new crystals will just come to me. People will give me some, I will find some, etc., etc. So this one is quartz as well too, and this is just like a cluster. I don't know if you guys can see that they grow in a cluster. Okay, so they come in so many different, again, so many different ways. Here's another way. You might not know that, but you can go somewhere. You might be like, "Oh, it's just a regular stone, right? Looks like a regular stone, but this is what is known as a geo." When you crack it open, you have a whole bunch of crystals, and these are quartz. You have a whole bunch of crystals on the inside. So typically, these would be quartz crystals, or these would be amethyst, or something like that. But quartz is badass, yo. It's really good stuff. I think it's underestimated a lot, but it's one of those things that's multi purpose. You can use it for technology, obviously, but then also for spiritual manners as well. So the reason why I'm doing this talk, by the way, and I'm just doing it like this because it came to me today. But we're in some really powerful times right now, and we're in such powerful times that you've seen everything that's happening on the media scale, right? I haven't been keeping up with the media, but I don't watch news, but I do see news articles here and there. I do see social media here and there, whatever. And we know we got a lot of things going on in different countries. Hey, are you on YouTube live? Yeah, I'm on YouTube right now too. Yeah, so on in our social media, what's up, beautiful people? Beautiful people. So we're in, on social media. You know, I'm hearing about these things, right? What's going on in the other countries around the world with the banking? A lot of people are, you know, going on riots and all kinds of stuff, and you know, it's just so much stuff happening. I don't even want to get into it. I think you guys know already. But remember this, that every time something is happening on one side, something has to be happening on the other side. So as all of this bad stuff, so-called bad stuff that is happening, what is really happening is that a big awakening is happening on this side. And so I'm hoping that this video helps with your spiritual evolution, it helps with your transformation. And we talk a lot about shadow work, right? People who have issues and they can't get over them. But if you can utilize some of these tools, if you can utilize something like Sage to help you, you can utilize something like Palo Santo, and definitely you can utilize crystals to help you if you're having issues to get over some trauma, some drama, and then you can find out your dharma. You feel me? So, um, yeah, that's why I decided to do this. So, this is what we have about quartz. I don't know if you guys have any questions about quartz before I put it away. Let me know. But this is a really cool crystal. Really, really cool. I just put this down. And this little piece I like right here. Sometimes I turn this into a necklace, and I have it right there. Um, really, really badass. Or I just hold it in my hand. Sometimes when I'm doing interviews, I hold it in my hand, right? I'm gonna read some of these comments really quickly. Dark black, yes, 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 yes. Yo, man, let me craft you a more pleasant looking crown. Yeah, I know, right? This crown is if you want to hook it up, man, yo, I would be honored if you will hook me up and give me something that's appropriate. I even bless you, man. I'll bless you with a crystal or something like that if you want to hook it up with the crown, right? So let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Uh, I appreciate that on the like and subscribe to Seven Circles. Thank you, everybody, for your support. By the way, really do appreciate it. So let's go to something else. This is one of my favorite crystals. Let me find this right here. And this has been really instrumental in my life over the past 8, 9 years. This has been really a really powerful crystal for me. So I have it right here, and I have it in its. I feel like I got that crystal stuck in my throat. I don't know how that happened, right? That quartz crystal, like it flew in and it's in there. It's tricky. Let me wash it down. How does that happen? The crystal goes into your mouth. Like, it's crazy. But anyway, so this guy right here, right? This guy is called Labradorite. Labradorite. So I'll show you guys over here. All right. This crystal can be found in areas like Sweden, Denmark, Finland, places like that. Um, I don't know if you guys can see it on my cell phone really good, but if you look at it on a computer, it has a lot of different colors. A lot of different colors, right? So it changes it changes its color, right? It changes the color. And let me show you guys the polished form because that was the raw form. All right, this is a good one right here. So the polish, here's the it should have a face, right? Yeah, so here's the polished one. Let me show you the polish. This is the polish. See how that changes color? This is known as the stone of transformation. Yeah, you guys can see it really good on my laptop. Maybe it's because of the light. I don't know. But anyway, um, it's known as the stone of transformation. And if you are looking to have a breakthrough in your life, if you are maybe having a breakdown, maybe you've been taking a break, maybe you press the brakes, right? And you want a breakthrough, this is definitely the stone that can help you with your transformation. It will guide you to the art of transformation. And my whole entire life has been about transformation. So this has been very powerful for me, um, yeah, I hold it really, really close to my heart. I had my friend who's now in Brazil. He went back to Brazil. Victor. He made all of the wraps for me. He used to wrap up my stones for me, which was really cool. Um, yeah, so this is a really good stone once again for transformation. What also this stone is good for is good for connecting you to your higher self, and it's also known for amplifying your spiritual abilities. So it's like all of the good stuff, right? Transformation, connecting you to your higher self, amplifying your abilities. Some call it the magic stone, right? So let's see. And the reason why they call it the magic stone as well, too, again, if you look at it, the way that it changes the color, right? It's just extraordinary in that way. Let me see if I can get some light on here. You guys can get some of that glare. There you go. See how it changes color? And it's kind of mystical. Okay. So yeah. So again, this has been really good with me over the past 8, 9 years, 10 years, with helping me to transform my life. And those who've been following me, you guys know I had a lot of transformations in my life, a lot, from relationships to spirituality to business to everything. Everything. This stone has been really, really good. We're gonna go back to a lot more stones because I do have some motivite that I want to talk about. But before we go to stones, let's just kind of deviate and just mix it up a little bit, right? And let's talk about some herbs and some plants. So this is fabulous right here, and I have a bigger piece. I don't know where it is, but if you guys never heard of this before, this is called Langji, Langji, and it's Asian, right? It's Chinese or Mandarin. I think it's Mandarin. It could be Cantonese. And what it means reishi. So this is a reishi mushroom, a reishi mushroom. So you can buy this in Chinatown, and sometimes you can get like a watered down tincture from Amazon, or maybe some reishi tea from like a store, maybe like a Whole Foods or a Trader Joe's or something like that. But this is the actual raw form of the reishi. Now it's kind of messed up because it's kind of hard, right? It's a really tough fibrous mushroom. So when I use it, I have to kind of like cut it, and so it's kind of hard in that type of way. But there's many different varieties of reishi mushroom. They come in many colors. They come in black, obviously, like this one. Some come in purple. Some come in red. I believe the one that is red, no, it's purple. I think the one that is purple is known as the mushroom of immortality. It has been said that those that consume the tea of the reishi mushroom, and that I think it's the purple one, that they become immortal. So read up on that. It's a actual thing. You could say a myth, or it's known knowledge in the community, the spiritual community in China. So yeah, reishi is a really good mushroom. If you guys don't know anything about this, you should definitely learn something about it. Again, it's called Lingji. So reishi, you would spell it Reshi. I think that's how you spell it. Reshi. Rishi. It's a reishi mushroom. I'll spell it over here. Let me write it down. Reshi. Yeah, that is how you spell it. Rishi. Okay, yeah, I had to see it. So yeah, and if you have a Chinatown, because I know I lived in Philadelphia for a while, they have a Chinatown there. I lived in Atlanta, Georgia. They have a Chinatown, I think, in Atlanta, Georgia. I know New York does. I'm here in Oakland. They have one. San Francisco, they have one. So you go to any Chinatown, they're gonna have reishi mushrooms. I rather get them in their natural state, right? Just like in crystals, I like them in their raw state. But the polish is good as well too, right? The polish is good as well too. But it's always nice just to really get to know the plant, especially when you start getting stuff off of Amazon. And what they do on Amazon, they might make a tincture, they might soak it in liquor, some type of liquor for a while to kind of extract the essence out of it. But it's good to know the plant. It's good to understand the vibration of it. It's good to understand how tough it is, right? Which makes sense that it would be the plant of immortality. I mean, this is kind of tough, right? And it has also been said that this was a gift from extraterrestrials. Yeah, you guys heard me right. It has been said that Rishi is a gift from extraterrestrials, meaning that the spores of the reishi mushroom came from outer space and it went through the atmosphere in Earth, and then when it got here, it started to make these mushrooms, right? And they said that's how powerful it is that it could travel through space. So, yeah, this is what you guys need to take a look at. Up your game on it. It could be a game changer. I found out this a while ago, and it's helped me in a lot of ways as well too. Rishi, absolutely, Rishi, yes, yes, yes. So since we're on the topic, we're gonna kind of go back now. Since we're on the topic of talking about things from a different planet, right? From a different planet. If you guys know anything about, where did it go? Oh man, I gotta find it. Here we go. If you guys know anything about this guy right here, it's a small piece, right? This is called Moldavite. Moldavite. So this piece is tiny, as you can see how big it is compared to my eye, right? But this tiny piece right here cost about uh this tiny piece right here cost about $70. And so Moldavite is only from one place. It's from the Czechoslovakia area. Can you close that, please? Thank you. So this is from the the Czechoslovakia, not Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic. This is from the Czech Republic area, and this is not really a crystal. It's a tektite, I think they believe they call it. But it still has great spiritual properties to it. So when it comes to Moldavite, okay, let me show you guys. This will definitely activate you as well too. It will activate your spiritual properties. It will activate your chakras. The main chakra that it really resonates with is your heart chakra. So we know that the heart chakra in the body is the equalizer. So like if you're having issues with loving or just issues of expressing that part of you, this will definitely get your chakra moving in the right direction. So I put it on copper because I had some before and I lost it. So it's good to have it on a wire so that I won't lose it. It's kind of like having a little doggy on a leash or something like that. Um, but it's powerful. Sometimes, if you have it and you're wearing it, you have to actually take it off and take a break from it because it's that powerful. So it's been said that if you're a healer, let's say if you do Reiki or something like that, and if you have a Rishi ring on your finger, that this will actually help to activate your powers, right? If you are somebody that is a speaker, like for me, I do social media or whatever, and then you would activate your heart chakra. This would help to activate your not your heart, your throat chakra, right? So maybe you would want to put it. These commercials, yo. Uh, Maybe you want to put it on your throat chakra or something like that, right? I'm just gonna rock this for a while. Um, and then also, if you have earrings, if you put it on your earrings, it can help with clear. They call it clear audio, I believe, whereas you can actually tap into different frequencies that are a lot more subtle. So yeah, this is good stuff, y'all. It's really, really powerful stone, really powerful. I highly recommend it. It's to the point now where it's so rare that the price has shot up dramatically. So eventually, people are saying that eventually it might be up there with diamonds. You know how diamonds cost a lot of money, but diamonds really just diamonds. We have some diamonds when it comes to this type of stuff, right? But there's certain diamonds that are so perfect or whatever and so rare that they cost a lot of money. So eventually this might get up there as far as currency is concerned, who knows? But as far as spiritual properties, it's a really powerful stone to have on your side and it can help. I meant to also tell you guys about where we at. Oh yeah, about Labradorite. Is that this one helps with your chakras. It helps to align all of your chakras. It's a powerful stone. So if your chakras are out of balance, I know I put a lot of video ups about chakras in terms of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and so if you are struggling with that, and you need help, this would be a good one. Also, too, because I was talking about the heart, right? If you look at this matrix system, those who follow me, you guys know that I talk about realm, REALMMM, R for religion, E for educational, A for agriculture, L for law, M for media, M for monetary, and M for medical. So those seven structures is what make up the system known as the society, right? So because the people have been indoctrinated in the system and a lot of people identify with it, it's hard for a lot of people to move up to their heart chakra. A lot of people are stuck in your lower three chakras. A lot of people are stuck in the fear and the survival, which is your root. A lot of people are stuck in the sexuality, the sexual chakra, or the creative chakra, known as your sacral chakra, your second chakra. And then also people are stuck in the third chakra, which has to do with power, right? Power and money, control. And think about it. Think about where people are, right? In their states of consciousness, because that's essentially what your chakras are. They're in states of consciousness. So let me show you, since I'm over here and I have this that I drew up, right? So like again, this would be like the survival, right? Your second one would be like your sexual, and then this would be, and this should actually be green, but I didn't have green. So this is your power, right? This is the solar plexus, right? And so with Motivite being such a strong stone, and again, this stone isn't native to this planet. I don't know if I said that. So that's why I talked about it after Reishi, the Reishi mushroom. This is actually a alien. This is an alien. This comes from a meteorite. So it's not from planet Earth. It's like you could say a cousin or something like that. And so, which is really cool. This helps to open up your heart chakra. Once you get your heart chakra open up, this is what Tom Elamine teaches. The game is over. The rest of these chakras open up automatically. So a lot of times people have issues in their heart chakra, and that's what holds them back. That's like the harder one for people to get through. And that's why we talk a lot about shadow work. Why it's so important to do your shadow work. Why it's so important to do your shadow work. Because if you have resentment, if you haven't forgiven, if you have hate, whatever, for people, maybe because of past history as a group consciousness, if you have some white issues or some black issues or whatever have you, then you have issues within your heart chakra, and you need to check yourself, and you need to take a look at your heart chakra and figure out, hey, what's going on? What's holding me back? How come I can't let this stuff go? Because ladies and gentlemen, it gets really heavy. Like for instance, I get this analogy quite often. If you have something which is like this and it's really light, if you're holding it like this for a while, right? This is fine. You can hold this for a while. But then if you wait like an hour, this begins to get really heavy and your arm starts moving down. Then if you keep on holding it for the whole entire day, this thing feels like a 20-pound weight. This thing feels like you're holding something like this, right? And imagine holding on to something like this for 20 years, for 5 years, for 10 years, right? It gets really heavy and it holds you down. And that's exactly what's happening with matters of the heart. There's something, maybe your mom did something, maybe your dad did something, who knows, maybe something happened to you when you were younger, and it started out being small, and then the next day you didn't let it go, you didn't talk about it, and then years went past, and that's always in the back of your mind, renting space in your mind, and then you constantly holding on. 20 years later, you totally messed up your vibrational frequency, right? Your aura, which is, there's a picture of mine that shows us quite often, right? And then your aura has holes in it and whatever, and you can't raise your vibration to higher frequencies because you're being held on something that has happened in the past. And then it becomes harder because it's easy to uproot something when it's brand new. If you got a plant, right, which is like this, and you just planted it, you can pull it up, no problem. But the minute, but the minute it starts to take roots, and those roots get inside of the soil, that plant becomes harder and harder to get up. Imagine pulling up a little plant, right? Like a little tree. It's easy. Now, but imagine pulling up a big oak tree. That's hard. It's hard to eradicate it. So again, this is why these stones can help you with that, and not just Motivite, because Motivite is strong. Even though this is small, right? See how small this is? Even though it's small, this is a really, really powerful stone. and it will literally get you moving in the right direction. Literally, because your chakra moves in a clockwise position. It moves, and that's what chakras are supposed to do. They're supposed to move like a vortex. But if they're moving slow, that means they're stuck and they're sluggish, right? So if it's too much for you, maybe it's too much for people at first. I can't take it. Help! I can't take it. I can't take it. Right? And then you can move to something like this. This is a quartz crystal, a rose quartz. So if you notice, it has a different color than your regular quartz. It's more of a pink color. I don't know if the light is doing its job. It looks a little better on my phone instead of the internet, but I think you guys can see it. So this will help with your heart chakra as well too. This helps with unconditional love and your heart chakra. And what's interesting is that the colors for the heart chakra are actually pink, which is this, and actually green as well too. So somebody asked, how do you let it go, and can it help with your bottom chakras? So I'll talk about some crystals that are good for your root chakra, but again, these are just good for the heart chakras. I think Motivite, because how powerful it is, that this actually could help with your root chakra as well too. But primary, right? Those would be secondary. Primary, definitely your heart chakra. Um, yeah, so how you let it go. So when you got something, let's say for instance, somebody I don't know what's a good example. Let's just say you got some type of trauma when you were younger, right? Um maybe you got picked on, maybe you didn't have a dad or something like that. I don't know. Maybe you didn't have a mom, maybe your parents died, something happened, right? And you want to let it go. Maybe you got assaulted in some type of sexual way or whatever, right? How do you let it go? First and foremost, you need to just ask. So I'm not religious. I think you guys understand that by now. I don't claim no type of religion or anything like that. But what I can tell you guys, and what is really true about the Bible, because the Bible has a lot of truth, right? But then they sprinkle lies in there as well too. But it's ask and you shall receive. This has served me my whole entire life. Ask and you shall receive. And it doesn't mean that if you ask one time you're gonna get it. It means keep on asking, and eventually that thing is gonna happen, right? That's how I end up meeting famous people, right? Who I do a podcast with, or the people that I meet, or whatever. I just ask them, "Hey, would you help me out? Hey, could you do this?" So this trauma that is inside of you, hey, thank you for being there and assisting me. You gave me protection. You gave me the grit that I needed in order to get through certain circumstances. But your existence, your presence is no longer needed. I forgive you. I release you. I forgive you and I release you. And let it start to move through you. And you can actually talk to it because everything is energy. Everything's energy, and you can talk to it. It's been taking up residence in your space, your body, in your tempo, right? And now it's time for it to leave. It's time for it to move on. And so by and integrating, holding this and integrating the presence of this energy along with your own energy, this would be a nice motivational energy to help to flush out the stagnant energy. So that's one way that you can do it. Just be sincere. It's really more about intention rather than just a type of formula or anything like that. I mean, and that's even the thing about crystals, ladies and gentlemen. These are all secondary. Really, these are all just tools. Like you are the main crystal. You are the main tool. You are God in flesh. So we're here learning how to be creative gods, and we can use tools to help us out. It's just like when it's just like when you're learning how to write your alphabets, right? At first, you might use a stencil. Anybody ever used a stencil? Or maybe you have a book that's teaching you how to write an A and how to write a B, and it might have a dotted line, right? And you're supposed to trace over the dotted line so that you know how to write an A or a B. Oh, you're not going to be tracing over dotted lines and using the stencils forever. You're not going to see people um, writing a book, right? And using a stencil to write a book. It's just not going to happen like that. What I mean, it's good. It's just a tool. It's just a tool. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's something to consider. That's definitely something to consider. That these are just helping us out. These are our actual friends. Our actual friends. So Motivate, one of my favorite. I just got this not too long ago. This came from Colorado. Shout out to Mom Dukes. I had my mom send it to me because I couldn't find any. I really couldn't find any. And since I'm talking about my mom and we're talking about Colorado, let me show you guys something which I think is pretty cool. And we'll take a turn and talk about something different. Um, so metals are known as polycrystals. So the next crystal that I'm going to be talking about is, which is actually a precious metal, right? Is we're going to be talking about this. What is this? These are gold. These are gold flakes. This isn't anything of really high value as far as monetary is concerned. Okay, this is probably worth like $10 or something like that. This is fairly light. Okay, but it looks nice, and it does have properties. You can get gold in many fashions and form. So if you're on a low budget and you can't afford like pure gold or a gold coin or something like that, you can buy some gold in the form of this. I think I can open up a little bit. I wouldn't recommend. Oops, I spelled some. I wouldn't recommend eating this, even though you do have something called gold slogger, which is like a cinnamon type of liquor. I remember that from back in the days, and this actually has specks of gold in it. So a lot of people do eat gold. And then there's something called monatomic gold, which looks like a white powder. It goes through some type of transformation. I don't know how it's made exactly. I think it might be made from uh, cow urine, which is interesting. And they were saying from the guy who I had on, what's his name? I did an interview with him, Anunnaki. He was explaining how gold is made in cows. That's why cows are so sacred, right? Because they give us milk, they give us this, they give us whatever. So in India, cows are really revered for being sacred. I had a lady on, one of my friends named Catherine. She's in an ashram up in India, and cows are revered in there, right? And my girl talks about it all the time. She's into Ayurveda. She's Indian, and they use ghee. Ghee's like clarified butter, right? And what ghee does, the reason why they like using ghee is because it helps the minerals or the properties of the herbs. It helps it to really spread out in your body and integrate in your body. Whereas water, it can kind of just flush out, right? So cows are really revered. And again, um, you can get monatomic gold from cow's piss, which is interesting. Even sometimes they put cow's poop and cow's piss inside of the ghee, and these have spiritual practices. I have to be careful what I say because I'm on YouTube as well too. But when the whole entire C was going on and everybody was taking the V, some people in India were actually putting cow dunk all over their body, and they came out completely fine. It was like a remedy. So that's quite interesting. But anyway, we're on the topic of gold, right? So here's gold, right? And the reason why I thought about my mom, shout out to my mom's, by the way. I should be doing a podcast with her soon. If you guys haven't said, I love you to your mom today, make sure you call your mom and tell your mom that you love her. Moms are awesome. I think it was Nas. Nas said that God, your mom is the closest thing to God on this earth, and I really like that, right? I really like that. So, um, yeah, these are fairly cheap, right? So my mom got me this, and this was this came from a ore in Colorado. So what it is a gold. It's a gold ore. I mean, this came from a mine, so it's a gold ore. And if you guys can see this, right, the little specks, that's actually gold. That's actually gold, and you see the vein. The vein is this right here. I'll show you guys over here. The vein is this right here. That's actually a quartz crystal, I believe. And then it has the specks of gold all over it, right? So I have a friend in Uganda, and if you guys know anything about Uganda, they actually just found out that Uganda has a big gold vein. And the amount of gold that's in Uganda is $16 trillion. So pretty much they just doubled the amount of gold globally. Because I think gold was roughly like 20 trillion. So 16 trillion. So it's going to become one of the richest countries in Africa. So there's a lot going on in Uganda right now. So we're going to talk about that whenever I do this podcast. I might do it this weekend with him, but then it takes me a while to post it. So yeah, shout out to Kali, by the way. So um, let's talk about gold a little bit. Let me take some of these out. So these are some gold coins. Everybody loves gold, right? Everybody does. So uh, This would be Mexican gold, and this is only 90% gold. Even the Mexican silver is only 90% silver. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see that too good, but it's not as shiny as gold should be. Okay, it's not as shiny as gold should be. And then we have the Canadian gold. This is my favorite. This is 100% pure gold. All right, Canadian gold. So each one of these are like the size of a dime. Okay, so this would be 1/10 of an ounce. This would be 1/10 of an ounce, right? Canadian gold. And then you have the other gold. Well, this is actually a gold, a couple. This is like 3 grams of gold, 3 grams. An ounce. What is an ounce? An ounce is 27 grams, I believe. So the price right now gold's going for like 18,000. I'm sorry, 1,800. So this is worth something like $300 or something like that. These are all 300, 300. This might be 500, 300 or something like that. But it's not so much the price value because we're not talking about money, even though we do talk about that sometimes with seven circles. Uh, and I guess I could show you one more. And these are pretty cool. And so this is actually silver. This is an old Mercury silver dime. I'll show you guys over here too. Okay. And I have it with the gold because I also have this right here, which is a Mercury gold dime, right? And those who know about Rome, they used to idolize Mercury. Mercury was the god of abundance and the god of protection, and it had a couple other attributes about it as well too. So, what is gold good for? Well, first and foremost, gold is known as a masculine energy, whereas you have silver. I guess we'll talk about that next as well too. Silver has a lot of feminine properties to it, right? So masculine energy, obviously gold is wealth and it attracts wealth. It attracts wealth. So I want to talk about this a little bit. This came from Robert Kiyosaki, but I think it's important for me to mention it. You guys know Robert Kiyosaki. He's the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, amongst many other books, but he was got really famous for that book. So he always wanted money. He went to this Indian guru one time and told the Indian guru that he wanted money. The guru said, start collecting gold. He said that gold is actually the tears of God. The tears of God. And Robert Kiyosaki, he said, I wonder, were they happy tears or sad tears? And he said happy tears, meaning like happy, but sad tears because of how people fight over it and do so much things in the name of greed, right? Because many people have died over gold, right? And look at all the people in Africa, South Africa, many other countries, right? South America, all about the gold, right? This has been going on for 5,000-6,000 years, right? People have this infatuation with gold. But he said that it served him right. That the minute he started collecting gold, that he began to get more and more and more and more money. So the gold that you have, you're never ever supposed to spend it. You're never supposed to spend it. People in the U.S., they're not too big on it like the majority of people. But if you go to India and also in China, a lot of the Asian countries, they're really big on gold and they know a lot about it. Like they honor it a lot more than people in the West honor gold. Even though it's still, obviously, people with their gold chains, et cetera, right? But as far as an asset, right, other than just like showboating or showing it off, like to actually use it as a asset, something to invest in, maintain your wealth is really known over there. So I found out once I started collecting gold. So what I have, it's not too much, but it's not important to say how much I have, right? But what I found out is when I started collecting gold is that my wealth did start to increase to higher and higher and higher levels, higher and higher levels. And I keep it. Once in a while, I take a look at it. I take a look at the other little pieces. This right here, I'll show you guys. This is a copper, not a copper head. This is an Indian head, they call it. I'll show you. And coins, you guys might can't see it too good on the camera. There you go. And coins to me are fascinating once I really started to get into coins. Maybe one day we'll do a talk about all of the different coins because I have so many from all different countries and everything. I mean, I have coins all over the place, and coins actually tell a story of the history of America because obviously a lot of things are lies and it's hard to tell. But when you start looking at the money, like for instance, and I'm off topic a little bit. Oops, let me not mess this phone up. Yeah. So like even this right here, right? Like this, ladies and gentlemen, this is a penny, right? Obviously, we know it's a penny, but this is actually a penny that is made out of steel, and you know, as you can see, saw how that attached to the magnet, and this is a strong magnet. We're gonna be talking about magnets today as well too, and this is so strong that it's hard for me to get the penny off, right? So it's a history with this on why this is actually turned, why it's actually steel instead of copper, right? Because we know pennies are made of copper, so it tells a lot. Coins tell a lot about the history of America and other countries as well too. So it's really cool to get into coins, but then they also have a value, and then they're what do you call it? They're a collector's item as well too. But let's just get back to gold. So gold, right? Another thing about gold is that it helps with issues. If you have skin issues, which is interesting, gold actually helps with that, according to some of the research that I did. It helps with a couple other physical ailments or unbalances that I can't recall at the moment, but I know that it does have some properties when it comes to that type of stuff. So it's good to have around. Again, the more you have, the more money you're gonna accumulate. It's just one of those things. So if you're a person that has gold, don't think about selling it. Just collect it. It doesn't matter what form it is in, whether if it's in the ore like this, it's natural form, or if you have some gold flakes, or if you just have gold, right? And this is I didn't show you guys this, but the US gold is also not 100% gold. This is a US gold, right? See the US sign. This is actually 90% as well too, just like the Mexican. And then notice the difference in color. This way you can know. I'll show you guys side by side. The first one is the Canadian. See the queen on there? Notice how that's more shinier. Look at that. See how it's actually shiny? It has more of a golden color. So, but the US one is worth more money, which is interesting, right? So you said, is there a copper or gold holding the quartz piece in your hand? So this right here, oh, in my head, I'm sorry. This is copper. And since you asked, we'll talk about copper after we talk about silver. Um, so I talked about how, oh, one last thing about gold, because we did talk about it a little bit, but not much. Monatomic gold, monatomic gold. And I talked about how that's made from cows. You're actually making gold as well, too. So a lot of people do this, and I can't do it, but what they do is they drink their urine. It's called urine therapy. And they literally drink their urine because they say that we lose a lot of minerals whenever we pee, right? So people drink their own piss, and they say that you actually have gold in your piss. I'm not drinking my own piss. I don't care, guys. I don't care what it's supposed to do to you spiritually. I don't care if it's supposed to make you levitate and you walk through a portal and whatever. I'm not drinking my piss, man. I just can't do it. I never tried, but me thinking about it and me drink a hot cup of piss, like I'm not gonna do it. But some people do that. And when it comes to monatomic, which I have tried, that comes from cow urine. That's what they say, but it's not a cup of urine. It's different, in my opinion. So anyway, monatomic gold is supposed to help you to increase your vibration and take you to the next step spiritually, and it's supposed to help to activate you as well too. So yeah, that's a little bit of info about that. Silver is interesting. And did we talk about how the gold corresponds to the sun, which is masculine? I think we did, right? So I'm trying to put on some more music. Um, those of you who are watching, hook me up and give me some likes. I could definitely use some likes, especially on YouTube. You guys haven't hooked me up at all. YouTube, they play me, man. They play me quite often, or maybe it's just a different ball game. I don't want to put out that negative energy, right? But YouTube is a different ball game, so it's hard to get views on YouTube. And I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Who knows? But anyway, if you guys could give me some likes, I would definitely appreciate it. Uh, yeah. So let's talk about silver. Let's talk about silver. So um, let me put some music on, guys. Give me 1 second. Let's see. What do we want? Let's just do some chill music. It helps me out. Very old traditional practice. Wouldn't recommend if your food and lifestyle isn't alkaline. Ah, beautiful. Okay, okay, okay. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, I'm just not. It's just not me. There we go. We got some music on. Beautiful. All right, so now we're gonna be talking about silver. So gold is the moon. I mean gold is the sun, right? That's father's son. Everybody loves the sun. Sun, sun, sun. And we got the moon Sunday, and the moon is Monday. Lunes, moon day. So if you're having an issue with, like, let's say that you're unbalanced, and this goes for women as well too. If you have too much feminine energy and you need to balance yourself out, that's something I forgot to remember to talk about. It's good to balance yourself out by wearing gold. If you wear gold, that can actually help to balance you out if you have too much feminine energy. So also, if you have too much masculine energy, right, and you need to be balanced out, it's good to wear silver, right? So silver, and this is a little bit off topic, but it's worth mentioning as well too. Silver has been used in the medical realm because it's antibacterial, meaning that um, bacteria doesn't stick to it, right? It's like a natural metal that keeps bacteria away. So that's why they used it in the hospital for their instruments and things of that nature. That's also why they used it as eating utensils, as silverware. What do we call it? Silverware. Obviously, it's not silver nowadays, but it used to be silver, right? And I have some old silver. It's silver plated. I keep it in my kitchen, but it's not solid. It comes from like the 1800s. Being a chef, I came across it. Um, what else do I want to show you guys? Oh yeah, I want to show you this. So we talked about what do we call it? We talked about the monatomic gold. When it comes to silver, there's something called collado. I think I'm saying it right. Collado silver. Colloidal silver. That's how you say it, colloidal. So this was actually made from my friend Chef Alman, and I did a couple interviews with him on TikTok. You guys probably know that video went viral. He gave the prediction of what's going to happen in 5 years. That video got, I think, 250,000. And then on YouTube, we had a couple videos with him. They got a couple hundred views, right? So, and I just put out a recent one. So he's actually looking to move to Atlanta. And if you guys want to support him, his Cash App is in that video. I should put it down the video. But anyway, colloidal silver, you take some of that like every day, right? And what that does, it actually helps to make sure that everything is functioning properly, such as bacterias and all of that other stuff. It activates you in some types of way too. To be honest, I don't know too much about it. I know a little bit, but not a lot, not a lot. Um, Not a lot. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I need to do some more research on it. I'm just being honest with you guys. I don't want to give out any disinformation. Um, so anyway, but I do know if you have too much masculine energy, it's good to hold silver to balance you out with that. Also, another good thing with silver, it does amplify stones, the same as gold as well too, just like copper. So if you have something that has a property, like we were talking about Moldavite, right? And Moldavite can activate, let's say, your throat chakra or your heart chakra or whatever have you. If you wrap it up in silver, that's going to help to expand the frequency of the stone or whatever you're wearing as well too. This also has a really calming energy to it, right? A really flowy energy, and it's not too forceful. Just like the moon, right? Like you don't want to lie in the sun for a long time. There's something called sunburn or whatever, right? I've even gotten sunburn before, and I didn't think that I could get it, but I did. But you never heard anybody getting like a moon burn. Imagine people lying out in the moon. Oh, I got a moon burn. I got a moon burn. The moon is the energy of the moon is more soft, it's more subtle, and it's more wavy. Whereas something like gold, right? The energy is going to be more direct. So that's just something to consider as well too. Um, Silver, I like to meditate with silver. What silver is good for, and you can get it in many various forms. This is a kilo, right? This weighs like 2.5 pounds. The going price for this is something like $900. It's pretty heavy. Um, so what I like to do with silver, I'll show you guys this really quickly. Um, yeah, it comes in many different forms. Um, I guess I'll show you this one. I don't need to go through every single one of them, but yeah, I'll show you these. And then I'll talk to you about what we can do with silver. Um, and it's a good investment as well too. It's a precious metal, and not only is it a precious metal, it's a industrial metal, meaning that all of this green energy, these solar panels, these electric cars, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, it is actually good for. Uh, I mean, you couldn't have any of these things without silver. So this is from China. They have a panda collection, right? It's a beautiful piece, really beautiful. Okay, really beautiful piece. And this is one. This is just a generic. It's not from any type of country. And I could do a whole talk about different coins and what they mean. Because you have something called rounds, you have something called coins. Some are just generic, some are whatever. We can talk about spot price. We can talk about all kinds of things. This is the age of Aquarius. I wanted to give this to my brother, my older brother. He's an Aquarius, right? See the water bear, and it tells about the Aquarius on the back. This is the water bear right here. This one's a little bit older, why it's not as shiny, but it's cool, right? So, Adam, if you're watching this, that's my brother. This is yours. It says Aquarius is the most spiritual and prosperous of all the zodiac signs. You are, I don't know, I can't read this. It's kind of messed up. But anyway, what I like to do with silver, and I used to do this a lot, just hold it in your hand like this while you're meditating, and it takes you to a new level. It really does heighten your spirituality. And like what I was saying, if you are looking to astral project, if you're looking to have an out of body experience, um, it's good to hold on to silver to assist you with that, because the vibration is so subtle. It's the feminine energy. It would take you there. Think about the moon also as well too. When you're going to sleep, right? The moon helps with dreams and blah blah blah, right? Like the moon energy is that type of energy. It's gonna it's directed towards the melatonin in a way, whereas the sun, right, which would be gold, is more directed towards the serotonin. So gold is more active, going to get you up, blah blah blah. Where this is going to kind of give you the back shot, right? Not the back shot, but like the back the back seat, and it's going to be more subtle. So yeah, silver's good stuff. Silver is really really good, really really good. Again, use it for meditation, or if you don't want to meditate, just hold it like this while you're going to sleep, and you'll be surprised with the dreams that you have. You can even put it underneath your pillow as well too. Um, Silver's good stuff, yo. I love silver. I actually like silver more than I like gold. They call silver the poor man's gold. And just a little FYI on a monetary value, speaking of finances and investments and things like that, silver, the highest that it ever was in 1980 and also in 2011. The highest that it was $50 per ounce. So this is 1 ounce of silver right here, right? This is 1 ounce of silver right here. So the highest this ever was $50 an ounce. And if you knew what was going on in the economy right now, just like right now, the inflation that we have right now is a 9 point something. That's the highest inflation we had since 1980. So history doesn't repeat itself, but it often does rhyme. It goes in cycles. It's cyclical. So if this was at $50 all time high in 2011, which was 3 years after the big crash, and then also if you know what happened in 1980s, right? I believe that the price of silver is going to go up. Right now, it's only going for $19 an ounce. So that would be a big come up, just to let you guys know. Okay. Haha. Hi, Cherie. How are you? Okay, beautiful. I appreciate the comments in YouTube. Again, those who are watching in YouTube, if you can give me some likes, I will definitely appreciate it. Thank you for all the likes on TikTok. We had almost 5,000 likes on TikTok. You guys are awesome, man. I appreciate all the love, all the love. My TikTok family holding it down. You YouTube guys, you guys got to catch up. You still my family too, man. But TikTok's holding it down for real. So silver, right? Silver. So a lot of good things about silver. Speaking of silver, man, they need to make a Silver Surfer movie. They haven't really dug into that aspect of Marvel yet. I don't know when it's gonna come about, but I would like to see that because the Silver Surfer is my dude, man. I like the way that he doesn't eat at all. He's pretty much a breatharian. I like the fact that he's just a man. He's extremely powerful, and that would make a dope ass movies. The Silver Surfer. Maybe one day I'll talk about comic books and tie that into the different types of powers that we all can have. Because I got a lot of comic books and I got a lot of comic cards as well too, like the little cards that talk about the different Marvel characters and things like that. So maybe that would be a future in the video one day. I don't know, but it's just a thought that I'm having right now. So since we're on metals, we might as well finish it out. I'm gonna show you guys this right here. This is copper. This is copper. Okay. Bow. It's copper in its raw form. Okay, I'll show you guys over here. This is cool. This is cool, right? And all of these things that I'm showing you guys, right? They can help you with your ascension process. They can guide you through these times because we are in interesting times, right? On this side, everything seems doom and gloom, blah blah blah. But if that happens on this side, there's always going to be opportunities, right? Always, just by natural law. When something gets destroyed, it's an opportunity to rebuild it back. If your whole entire life gets messed up, it's an opportunity. It's opportunities in that. So right now there are so many opportunities. So don't think that there isn't opportunities. It's so many. So just don't be programmed by the news. So this is some good stuff. So here's some more copper. You can get copper in many type of ways. You could just get pennies, which would help out. Let me see if I got something over here. I don't know. I got so much stuff just lying around, guys. So here's a copper bracelet. This one has magnets on it as well too. I'll talk about the magnets in a minute. So I like this one, right? This actually makes me feel really, really tough. It helps with your bones. It helps with people. Love copper. Supposed to drink out of copper cup. I heard. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, copper is really, really good. I have a couple copper cups. You don't want to leave copper. What was it? What was it overnight? If you leave water in copper overnight, it was overnight or it was something. Look deep into copper because if you do something that's wrong, it can actually poison you. I don't think it was water. I think it was if you add an acid to it, maybe something like lemon or something like that. Because you have to be careful with the metals that you're using. Like even in culinary, you guys know I used to be a chef, right? And when I was making different sauces, like a hollandaise sauce, which is one of the five mother sauces, you never wanted to make that sauce in an aluminum bowl. You know how you got the aluminum bowls, the metal bowls, and the stainless steels. But when you mix it in the aluminum, the acid in the hollandaise sauce reacts to the aluminum and it turns the sauce a grayish color when it should be like a beurre blanc. It should be like a whitish cream color. So again, if you're drinking out of certain metals or whatever, you have to be careful. When it comes to aluminum, you want to stay away from that anyway. According to my research, I heard that it actually causes Alzheimer. Some research would say that that's not true, that that's a myth or whatever. But if I was you, I wouldn't trust that. I wouldn't trust that. But just like back in the days, people used to drink out of lead and they didn't know. And now they find out, they were dying early because they got lead poison and whatnot. So just be careful. But anyway, copper, it comes in many, it comes in many different sizes and shapes. It is an industrial metal. A lot of people do collect it for its monetary value. But it has strong spiritual principles, and it's cheap as well too. It's cheap, right? I think it's something like $2 a pound or something like that. Maybe $3 now because of inflation or whatever. But it does enhance. It does enhance the energy of crystals. It really, really does, and I feel it big time. I feel it big time. You can get it again, and you can use pennies. You got copper like the one that I just showed you in this raw form like this, right? Um, the newer pennies is not made from out of copper, by the way. They're made out of some other type of alloy. So it could have been just water in copper because I'm thinking about the pipes, right? Most of the pipes are copper, but I think it was if you add acid to it. Um, yeah, and this is good for like making a wand. Like you can actually put some crystals in there and turn this into some type of wand and get creative with it, right? If you know what you're doing and you know how to make that magic come together, right? You can also you can also buy some wire to wrap it up. I got this from Home Depot. This wire was pretty cheap, probably about $5 or something like that, right? Um, and a couple more things about carpet, the way that it comes. I put this one on. This is another one, right? Since we're rocking on carpet. Uh, this. So this is cheap wire. This amount probably cost about $2 from Home Depot, and it's about 50 feet long. I learned this from Master Wayne, and it's a really good idea. What you can do is you can take a copper pipe, okay? Take a copper pipe, stick it in the ground, um, and take some wire. You want to take the insulation off, okay? And you want to wrap it around the copper pipe, and then you want to run this wire all the way through your window and by your bed in your room, right? And it'd be good if you when you stick it in the ground, if you stick it near a tree, since there's going to be a lot of energy in that tree. And then what you do is when you go to sleep, you can wrap it around your arm. If you have a bracelet like this, you can actually attach it to the bracelet. And then what that's going to do is that's going to ground you. You know how we talk a lot about grounding, walking around like barefoot, not having your shoes on and things of that nature? Well, yeah, this is a way for you to ground yourself automatically by putting a copper pipe in the ground, wrapping some copper wire around it, and then running it through your window. And while you go to sleep, have it wrapped around your arm. It doesn't have to be tight or anything. It can be fairly loose, but it would definitely do the job. So just something to think about. Uh, oh, mm, mm, mm. Damn, we've been going for like an hour now, man. I don't know how long this live is going to be. I don't know how long this live is going to be. So, yes, a lot of my homes and businesses nowadays have galvanized metal, not hailing or sterile. In electric, that's called earthing via the TT. Yeah, earthing, grounding. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and those things are big. I've made a video a while ago about earthing. Maybe I'll repost it or something like that. I don't know. But earthing is really, really important. Really important. You got to think about it, man. Like for instance, look, if this is copper, right? If this is copper, and I'm getting the properties from copper. But in order for this is copper as well too, right? But in order for me to really get the copper, right, and to get the energy from it, I have to remove the insulation from around it, right? I have to remove the insulation from around it. If I keep the insulation on it and wrap it around this copper pipe, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to be able to move that grounding energy up, right? If I keep the wire on it and I wrap, let's say I wrap a crystal up, right? If I wrap a crystal up, that's not going to do anything. I had to remove the insulation. So, with that being said, if we can understand that concept, when we walk outside and we have shoes on our feet, right? We're blocking the earth energy. We're totally blocking the earth energy. And so we're blocking the earth energy. That's Mother Earth. That's our mother. She gave us our bodies. She gives us our food. She's hooking all of the plants up and everything like that. And you know what? We're missing out on a lot. We're missing out on vital information. Vital information. So very important, muy importante to make sure you get your grounding going on. Just want to put that out. Another thing about copper, which I think is good, is that copper um, it's good for your bones. I don't know if you said that if I said that already, but it's really good for your bones. So it digs deep. It's like a um it's almost like a grounding. We're talking about grounding energy, right? It's almost like a grounding type of metal. It just has a lot of good attributes to it. I'm really attracted to it. I've been attracted to copper for a while. I mean, even if I had a lot of money to buy gold like this and blah blah blah, etc., I would still rock copper because it's not really about the money or the value of it. It's about the properties of it, and I have a good relationship with copper. I like it. I like it. And it was interesting is it could seem dull, right? Like right now, this might not seem as shiny. Whereas if you have something that's brand new, hasn't been exposed to the elements, it's a little bit more shiny. But the more and more that you wear it, and it's in your aura, it begins to turn shiny automatically, right? And you don't have to do anything to it. So it's alive, man. It's alive. Don't forget, everything has life in it. Everything has consciousness in it. It's hard for a lot of people to understand that concept, but it's really, really true. Everything's alive. Just because it doesn't speak our English, right? It doesn't speak this language or whatever, it doesn't mean that it's not conscious. Um, it's the mineral kingdom. It's the mineral kingdom. As long as the conductive parts are touching, when you wrap the copper around in a coil, it's close to mine. Yeah, for every turn, it's 1 point value or -1, depending on your routing it. Wow, you sound like my brother, Reese. You must be what do you call it? An electrician. My brother's an electrician. My older brother. So you sound like an electrician. Um, okay, my thumb is tired. Oh wow, you've been hooking me up. Thank you, Cream Shakti. We really appreciate you. Cream Shakti is awesome. She talks a lot about Ayurveda. She talks a lot about different herbs and things of that nature. She has a great channel. I highly recommend you guys follow her as well. So let's take a little break about talking about crystals. We'll go back in it a little bit more in a little bit. But I want to talk about some sound healing. And there are many tools that you can use. Many tools that you can use. And sound healing is good because they can align your chakras. They can activate you and bring you into a state of uh, presence to whereas you're focused on this moment. I talk a lot about presence recently. I found it very important and why, hey, what's up, Watts? And why it's important to stay in the present moment because that's the only moment that actually exists. The past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. The only moment that exists is here and right now. So that's what I've been focusing on. So sound can actually help you to do that. It's a beautiful thing, and there are many different ways that you can explore with sound. But I wanted to show you guys a couple ways that maybe you can make an investment to help yourself and then maybe help your friends as well too. So, um, uh, let's see. I am, bro. Oh, you are okay. That's what's up, Reese. Uh, love your comments, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that. What's going on, Kundalini? How you been? How you been? How you been? Thank you for introducing me to your friend Adrian. By the way, Adrian is a great dude. I like him a lot. I'm probably gonna end up doing a podcast with him eventually. All right, so here we go. So this, unfortunately, I don't know the name of it. I probably should. Ooh, ooh. All right, so I probably should know the name of it. If anybody knows the name in the chat, type this in the chat so that we know the name of it. And I'm gonna play just a little bit of it. So I got this piece from Sedona, Arizona. I went there like 3 times. The first time I was like, oh, I get it the next time. Then the next time I was like, oh, I get it the next time. And this time when I went, I'm like, yo, I have to get it. So it costs somewhere about $500, but it's really simple to play, but it has a really nice sound to it, which is why I wanted to get it. So I play a little bit of it. Let's see. A happy drum. It's a drum. Like not really a drum. It's something different. When you guys hear the sound, Cream Shock said a happy drum. The peace architect guy, he's very knowledgeable. I think, yeah. That is him, right? So, as I said it on this Bible, right? I'm gonna play a little bit. Can you guys hear that? Okay. That's what my teacher got. Oh, okay. Notice, notice how that brings you into the present moment, right? So, peace to you as well too. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, I don't know about you guys, but I feel better just playing this already. So, here's one sound instrument. Okay, just so you guys can get a look at it. You can buy it on Amazon, maybe. Okay, very good instrument to have. Um, and it's simple. It's simple, right? And little children can play it. When my daughter comes up, she'll be here pretty soon. Tomorrow, actually, I'm excited. Um, my baby girl. Yeah, yeah, it can definitely help to release some things and to move you up, move you up, move you up, move you up, right? Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Um, let's see. Let's talk about these. I was talking about these earlier today. And I don't know all of the sound frequencies of each one, like how many hertz per minute. Eventually, I dig deep into that and I get the information and I put it out there. So these are tuning forks. You can get these in various frequencies, right? A lot of times they resonate with different chakras, as this one right here does resonate with the throat chakra, which is why it's blue. And then this one is for I believe the crown chakra. Okay, this one I had the longest. It cost about $70 when I got it, and this one I don't know how much this one came for. My mom recently got this from me. She sent it to me as a gift when she sent me Motivite. I asked her to send me some, so thank you again, mom. Shout out to her. Um, yeah, so you can also get these, and they don't have to have the weights at the end. But I like the ones with the weight. I think they make the sound a little bit more intense, and they make the vibration a little bit stronger. It's for me, it's just better to have the weights on it. I've always been used to it. If you have a Allen wrench, you can actually put it inside of here, and you can turn it, and you can take the weights off if you want to. So um, tuning forks, right? What are tuning forks good for? Well, you have a system in your body called a meridian system. A meridian system is like a highway that the chi travels through your body, right? So think of, you have over 72,000 meridian centers in your body, and the chi travels through all of it like this in many different directions, all over your ears, all over here, all over here, all over here, here, everywhere, right? Sometimes you get blockages, right? Like this, if this is the meridian, a blockage would be like a when it's bent or something, right? You have some type of trauma in there, some type of emotion, whatever. Sometimes it gets blocked and you need it to flush. They have something called acupuncture. That's when they actually puncture your skin. Then it has something called acupressure. That's when they press your skin, right? They're putting pressure on it. I like to use objects when I'm doing that. I can feel one right here. All right. So, and then what they have is they have what I use, because I use a lot of tools when I'm doing things for clients, right? I will use I have something over here. I don't know. I will use pieces of wood that I will find like while I'm hiking, and they have a unique shape to it, which is good for applying pressure onto the body. Um, Stones. This stone was actually given to me from my daughter Olivia, right back when she was like maybe 7, and now she's 15, about to turn 15. So I kept it ever since. This came from a river in Pennsylvania, right? And it's pretty cool because the way it's pointed, but and it's not sharp, right? It's not going to pierce your skin, but it's good for getting in different areas and applying pressure to these points. And because it has a nice earth energy, it's really grounding, and it just does the job perfectly. So going back into the tuning forks, you can activate them like this. I use this part of my hand, right? And then you apply it on it. Mm. Dakota, I will get back to you and ask her where did she get the Moldavite. I've been meaning to call her. It's been in my subconscious. I just been busy, and everybody has different time zones nowadays. Everybody's busy, so I'll be calling her eventually, and then I get back to her to find out where did I get back to her to find out where did she get it from, and then I get back to you. So again, you apply this on many different points. If you apply, like when I'm putting it right here, because it's my bones, I can hear it all through my ears, right? And you have points which I really like to hit. One here, one here, one here, one here. You have one here. You have one right here. You have many points. You can go right here to your third eye, right here to your fifth eye, even inside of your head and on the back of it, right? And even other places in your body. So the way the way you activate it again is, and I'm telling you guys, like when I jerk like that, like that's just volts or jokes of energy, and boy does it feel good. Like what's going on in my mind right now, like the back of it, oh my god, it's the best feeling ever. And part of my brain is already activated because I do a lot of microcosmic orbits where I sit down. Oops, sorry guys. Where I will sit down. Let me unplug this. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. So where I actually sit down with flat and I literally move my energy up. I move my energy up from my perineum, right? Activating my sacral pump and move that energy all the way up. You feel it come up, and when you get to here in the back of your neck, you have another pump which catches it. That's your cranial pump, sacral pump, cranial pump, like an actual pump, and then you move it around in your brain. You feel it. This whole entire thing's going on. It's like you got an orgasm in your head. No pun intended. I mean, the feeling is euphoric, and then you relax all your muscles because you're tensing them up as you're moving it up. Then you relax it, and it just goes all the way down, all the way down. And then you store it in your Datien, which is about 1.25 inches below your navel. You can either move your hands clockwise in 9 directions, or you just can imagine, because where your attention goes, your energy flows, or you just can imagine it going to this part in your body, right? And you start there, and you begin to get a reservoir of that energy. So when I do this, somehow it activates the energy because I've been practicing it now for at least 10, maybe 15 years. It's been a while. And that's thanks to this guy right here. If you guys want to learn more about that, this guy, I'll show you guys. Makta Chia, he's 80 and he's in great health. He's been practicing for a long, long, long time. He's pretty famous. He wrote a lot of books, The Taoist Secrets of Love, The Orange Shirt, many other books. He's probably written over, I don't know, 50 books, 20 books, something crazy. A lot, also, I gotta say. This is actually the microcosmic orbit. I'll show you guys. I don't know if you guys can see it on here, TikTok, and on YouTube. You guys can see it right here. So, yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So, and then you have this guy right here. And also, what you can do instead of using it on this points, some people use it just to clear energy, right? So we all have an aura around us, which is an electromagnetic field. I think a lot of people know that. Just to let you guys know, this is a picture of an aura that I had taken professionally. This was me, and that's my aura, right? Everybody's varies in color, etc. I actually made a video about this while it was being done. It's on my YouTube channel under aura something. So look at some of the past videos, and you would be surprised because we showed pictures of other people's auras. Some people actually had entities in their aura. some people didn't have an aura whatsoever because they were on heavy drugs, like literally heavy drugs, and the aura went away and they felt sick. So it's amazing. And so what you can do is you can actually clear your aura, and by doing that, you go like this, and you go like this. You help to clear it out. So it's kind of similar to what we did earlier in the video when we were talking about the sage, right? The sage, how the sage is kind of clearing your aura. Yeah, this does that as well too, and it's activated, man. This activates your crown chakra. It's an activator. Activator. You guys look at my older videos, my throat chakra wasn't activated at all. Boy, wasn't it open at all. And now my throat chakra is completely open. And a lot of this stuff that I'm doing helped in order to open it up. So, excuse me. So, tuning forks. So we talked about the magic drum, the tuning forks. Another thing which I think everybody knows. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. We talk about singing bowls. There are different types of singing bowls. Obviously, we have these guys, which I think a lot of people are familiar with. What's really cool about singing bowls too, if you put water inside of them and you start going around and around and around, you actually begin to activate the water, and the water goes round and around and around too. Water, and this is a different video, we can talk about water later, but water, a lot of the water is actually dead. It doesn't have any life in it. So when you put the water in there, you're actually bringing it back to life. So that's a good way to reactivate your water. So singing bowls, which are pretty cheap now. I have so many of them. I used to be obsessed with them. This is a cool one right here. I don't have too many things inside of here, so I can take this out. The other one I just used it as like a container for my sage. See how this one is a lot louder? This one, listen to the sound. This one, I think, goes for your sacral chakra. You guys hear that? Thank you, Cherie Roberts. Thank you. I appreciate the likes, everybody. Thank you for all the love, all the support. Right? So, you feel that? And again, sound is good for keeping you in the present moment, for helping you to remind you that the only moment that exists is here and right now. The past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. We can speculate, we can think. The only way we can go to the past is with the thought. The only way we can go to the future is with the thought. But in the present moment, you don't need a thought to experience the present moment. The present moment is just an experience, right? You experience the present moment. And that's why it's hard for a lot of people to experience the present moment, because they're so addicted to thinking. A lot of people think that you have to constantly have thoughts inside of your mind, but you don't. So when you do this, this brings you back to the present moment. And because the way that it lingers, right? The way that it lingers, it just keeps you. So in yoga, we say 1,000 times the mind will wander and move away, and 1,000 times you got to bring it back. 1,000 times you got to bring it back. Awesome. Yes. Balance too. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you heard that sound. Let's talk about this one. This one sounds like a crown chakra. It's definitely a lot later. I have so many more sticks too. I don't like that stick too much. Let me see if I got another stick. This one might be okay. Let's see. Do that one more time. And you can kind of tell what chakra it vibrates at. You just have to feel it on your body. Just feel it. Just feel it on your body. And where you feel it, then that's where it's going to activate. For some people, like for instance, this one, I honestly feel it in my throat. I really do. I honestly feel it in my throat. But for some people, they might feel it in their crown. So maybe for me, it's my throat, and maybe for someone else, it's in the crown, right? Um, let's see, let's see. So, and now here's the best one ever. Here's the best one ever, okay? Because those are made out of metal, and traditionally, the metal bowls are made out of 7 types of metals. Traditionally, I don't know what types of metals, I forget, but they're made out of 7. I got a couple more, but they're out there. I don't want to get them. So this one is called a crystal singing bowl. So I thought it was cool because we talked about crystals and things like that. And now we're also talking about sound. So to integrate them both together, right? And so this one has such a resonance about it. It's so beautiful. I got this from Mount Shasta. I go there quite often. I think I've been there maybe 7 times already now. But and by the way, Mount Shasta is known as another high frequency place, just like Sedona, Arizona. Mount Shasta is known to be the root chakra of the United States, or some people say the heart chakra. So we talk about the law of what is it called? Uh, I don't know. Let's just say one of the Hermetic laws: as above, so below, as within, so without. So exactly the way that we have chakras, and I was talking about the chakras earlier. The Earth also has chakras, as within, so without. Right. The Earth also has meridian points. The meridian points of the Earth is called ley lines. All right, and we're going to talk about how to activate your meridian points in a minute too. But let's just get into this. So this is the I don't know which one this vibrates to. You guys let me know, where do you feel it, okay? It's pretty badass, right? Pretty badass. The only thing you got to be careful, because if that breaks, then there goes your $400 or $500 gone. You felt it in my crown. My crown. I felt it in the third eye. Who else said? Who else said third eye? Okay, I see you 6'9". Third eye. Yeah. So it's definitely up there, right, in that area. What about you guys on YouTube? Anybody on YouTube? Um, so yeah, that's that, right? And the last sound healing frequency, you guys probably never seen, you guys probably have seen this, you probably know of this, but this is really a high vibrational instrument, right? You said I feel it in my eyes if I close them. Okay, okay. Um, so this is another high vibrational instrument. And I bought this like 6 months ago. And I like it a lot. I don't know. I just really do. I have a couple other instruments, like I have the little drums and things like that I play if I'm doing a ceremony or something like that. I felt it in my throat. Okay. Uh, and especially the higher tones, I think the higher tones hit really nicely. Anyway, this is my baby. I love it. One day I'm going to get really, really good at it. I just been developing a relationship with it, right? I think it's cool, man. I think it's cool. And what's also interesting about instruments, we know that they have 7 keys, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then you have your 7 chakras, you have your 7 colors, you have the 7 base metals in alchemy, you have your 7 continents, your 7 seas, your 7 hermetic principles, your 7 virtues, your 7 days of the week, your 7 sins. It takes 7 years for your body to completely revitalize itself, rejuvenate itself. There's many different sevens. Your spinal cord can move in 7 different directions. When you eat food, it takes 7 steps for that food to turn into a spinal expression of energy. So, for instance, when you eat food, the food turns into blood plasma, then it turns into blood, then it turns into fat, then it turns into muscle, then it turns into bone, then it turns into marrow, and then it turns into sexual energy. So it goes through 7 different stages. When you look at a plant starts as a seed, which is 1. Then it goes into a stem, right, which is 2. Then you have the leaf. After the leaf, you have a bud. After the bud, you have the flower. After the flower, you have the fruit. Did I miss one? I missed one. Seed. Oh, I'm sorry. Seed, root. The root. Then you have the stem. Then you have the seed. Then you have the bud, then you have the flower, and then you have the fruit. So a plant goes into 7 stages of evolution as well too. 7 is a magic number, right? 7 is a really, really magic number. So this is, what are the 7 notes in this? This is C, I believe. So if this is C, this is D, this is A. So C, D, E, F, G, F, G. So I think this is A, B, C. So A, B, C. Okay, so this is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then it goes back. A, B, C. Yeah. Interesting, right? Then you got high C, low C, etc., etc. So anyway, sound frequency. Sound is important. And then, of course, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget you have everything inside of you. Just like I was telling you, you have crystals inside of your third eye, your fascia is crystals, and so on and so forth. Okay, and then also, you have a voice box. You are a machine. You are a beautiful machine. You're the most divine machine, right? So, you have your voice box, and you can do chanting. You can do humming. All of that could be very, very healing and that can take you up to a whole new level as well too. You necessarily don't need the instruments. You could do things like, so let's talk about the chakras, because we were talking about the chakras. Each chakra, let me pull this down. Each chakra has a different sound, right? Each chakra has a different sound. So you have the bottom, which is the red. The bottom is that's VAM, VUM. Then you have, I'm sorry, this is LUM, LAM, LAM. The way that I remember is because I think about end, LAND, so that helps me to remember the root, right? Meaning like the land. So it's LAM. So it's LUM. Then you have VAM, VAM, VAM. Then you have the solar plexus, and we know that the solar is the sun, right? And every time we hear about the sun, we think about Ra, R-A in Kemet times, Egyptian times. So the sound for the sun is Ram, R-A-M, Ram. Then you have your heart chakra, okay? The heart chakra is actually Yam, Y-A-M, Y-A-M, like a yam. So, Yam. Then you have your throat chakra, which corresponds to the color blue, right? That's why we had this one. This is why we had this one right here, because this is for throat, right? Shout out to Mom Dukes, by the way. Okay. And so throat chakra is Ham, H-A-M. So think about Thanksgiving. I don't eat meat, but think about Thanksgiving. You have yams and you have ham. So the heart is yam, right? Yeah, I got some yams. And then the throat is ham, H-A-M, ham, right? So the sound for the throat would be and I really feel the throat chakra. I feel it big time. Because that's been one of my biggest blockages with my throat, not speaking my truth, whatever, a lot of ways. Being in the corporate America and having to fit this image, right? Just so I can mesh and whatever. So that's why being an entrepreneur has been really helpful for me. It has been a sense of freedom beyond all measure. And so even when it comes to social media, that's why I keep my old videos up. If you look at my old videos, I was so awkward and so quirky, and I wasn't fully expressing myself. But I've done a lot of work with my throat chakra, and Ham has actually helped out a lot. So if you're somebody that's afraid to like express your truth or who you are and whatnot, that would actually help. And we're gonna get back into some more crystals that would actually help as well too with opening up different chakras and also helping you to be your true authentic self. Okay. So once again, hum. And then of course we know the third eye, which is your indigo, right? Shout out to all my indigo children, by the way. Indigos, and my crystal children. Shout out to all my light workers, right? So this is gonna be You can spell it O-M, absolutely, or you can spell it A-U-M. The traditional way that they spell it is A-U-M. The Western has taken on the way of O-M, but it's really A-U-M. So you would spell it or say it. And all you want to do is make sure that you're visualizing and you want to put your attention on there. So where your attention goes, your energy flows. If you can remember that, that's powerful because this really, really helps. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. You know, most of the stuff that comes into your psyche, most of the information is through your eyes. Yeah, you got 5 senses, but you use your eyes probably about 60%, right? And then the rest of them are divided between that 30%. The eyes is a big one. So where your attention goes is mainly in your eyes. Yes, your sound, you can hear stuff and whatever, but your eyes are a big part. So focus on your eyes. You have something called insight. You have sight and you have insight, what you can see on the inside. Don't forget what Albert Einstein said. He said that your imagination is stronger than knowledge. Imagination is stronger than the knowledge. And then you have your crown chakra. So based on the studies that I know of, your crown chakra, you keep it silent. You keep it silent and you just focus on it. And when you are practicing something called Tai Chi or something called Qigong, what they would tell you is they would tell you that silence is the mother of all noise, right? It's silence is the hardest thing to do. Just like stillness is the mother of all movement. Stillness is the mother of all movement, and silence is the mother of all noise. So you contemplate and you just be with it, right? And so let me put this up. Sorry, guys. So let's see what else we got here. Yeah, we were gonna talk about some more crystals. Let me dangle my crystal. We're talking about some more crystals. This one is called Kyanite. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. It comes in a couple of different colors. I have it in black, and I also have it in this in this excuse me. And I also have it in this traditional color. Okay. So let's see. I learned about this through martial arts. Yeah, right. This is actually this is real. This is real stuff. Real stuff. I don't talk about much that I mean. I'm only going to talk about things that I know. And my biggest thing is I do not want to give out false information, and I also don't want to be a sensation. Like it's very important for me to be honest, and it's very important for me to have integrity, and it's very important for me to make sure that I'm walking in alignment. Like as a creator, guys, I want to be honest with you guys. Obviously, I want to get likes. Obviously, I want to have more subscribers, and I want to get this information out there. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That's honest, but I will not compromise that by putting out information. I will not compromise that. When what's the guy's name? When Will Smith got smacked by Chris Rock, I seen that video like within 5 minutes when it happened. And I thought about, oh, I can hurry up and put this on some of my social media and it would blow up. That was the first thought that came to my mind. Then I said, no, absolutely not. I've seen so many other videos that I knew that would have been clickbait, that people would have clicked on it instantly just because it was a sensation or whatever. And I was like, no, I'm not going to talk about that. There's many instances of other people who have done things and I could have talked about it, or even information that the news put out, which was an eye catcher and blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, I'm not going to put it out. So I will not compromise whatever. And I just think that it's important to have that level of integrity, because when we do that, essentially what happens is we become the very thing that we are trying to eradicate. This is like Luke Skywalker, right? From Star Wars, that he became dark or whatever. And this happens sometimes, right? This happens sometimes. So you have to make sure you have to be intact with your values, and you have to be intact with your ethics. Ethics is a very important part, right? And so, I'm in the tradition of yoga, and we know in yoga we have the yamas and the niyamas, and it's important to make sure that you're sticking to your code of ethics. Every company has a code of ethics. I think that you should have a code of ethics as a person and try to stick to them as best as you can. Because if not, if you don't have any discipline, then you're everywhere. What did Socrates say? Undisciplined mind is the insane mind, right? I just want to feel good on the inside. I don't want to do wrong by anybody, and I don't want that responsibility. I don't want to put out information and that goes in people's minds and not everybody is thinking about that thing. I just made a karmic debt for myself. I might have to come back to this planet and clear up that karmic debt, right? All for what? For some money or blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't want nobody's karmic debt on my conscience. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to put that out there. So this right here is called Kennonite. I'll show you guys a little bit closer. This comes from Pennsylvania a lot. I know, and it's kind of how would I say? It's kind of like I think it's called selenite. Is it called selenite? Citylene. I think I'm saying it right. Citylene. I forget how to say it, but it's kind of like that in the way that it actually has structures. Like I don't know if I'm saying it right. It has crystalline structure, so I can like peel some of this off. It's kind of fibrous. If you understand what I'm saying. It's a beautiful crystal though, and so there are two crystals that don't need to be charged. You know how I said like you need to charge this one in the sun, right? Or like not this one, but you need to charge other crystals in the sun. You don't need to charge kennonite in the sun. And again, I said it comes in more colors. It comes in black. Here's it in black right here. I have this one wrapped in copper. I actually made this one, which is pretty cool. And then here's another piece of it. Another piece of the kennonite. And right here as well too. Right. So this is good because you don't have to recharge it. And what is also good for is that it automatically aligns all of your chakras. So again, if one chakra is moving slow, right, it's kind of blocked, right? So when your chakras are spinning, right, beautifully, you don't have any blockages, you're cool. So this helps to automatically realign your chakras, and you don't have to charge it. So it's a good crystal to have. Also, if you put this near other crystals, it helps to charge those crystals. So you don't have access to sun or whatever, you could take kennonite and put kennonite in the bag with your quartz crystals, and now your quartz crystals are going to get charged up. The only other crystal that I know of that does that is citrine. And if you guys know anything about citrine, spin those chakras, absolutely, right? If you know anything about citrine, right? So I'm going to show you guys something because both of these are citrine, but one of these are not actually citrine. So understand what I'm saying. Both of these are citrine, if I'm saying it right, citrine, and one of these are actually not citrine. Okay, so take a look at this one, citrine. Take a look at this one, citrine, citrine, citrine. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what they do. If you go to crystal shops and you look for citrine, a lot of times they will try to sell you this right here. And they would say that this is citrine. This is not citrine. What this crystal actually is this is amethyst that they have artificially accelerated and called it citrine and then changed the price. So this is amethyst. I don't have my amethyst piece. I have one, but I think I gave it away. I've always given a lot of amethyst away, and we'll talk about amethyst in a minute. But this is a piece of a geo. We could tell because of the opposite side, right? Remember how I was talking about this geo right here? It looks like a rock, but then when you turn it around, you have the crystals on the inside of it, right? That's the same thing about this one, right? So amethyst, if you look at the crystals closely, look at it, you can see how it's the same as this right here. Right? Same as this right here. And so what they did was they actually put this inside of heat. And by putting this inside of heat, at a really high heat, it turned into this citrine. But this is not citrine. So this is actually citrine. And I wanted to really express this to you guys. This is citrine. This is real citrine. It's a beautiful crystal. Right? Not to be confused with this. Look at the difference. Let me get that. Oops. It had like a piece of dust or something on it. I don't know, but look at the difference. Force the Dead Drivers. Appreciate you, man, for coming onto the YouTubes, right? So here we are. Right? And so this one will cost a little bit more. I think I have another piece. I don't know where it's at, but it's pretty much equivalent to this. So what is citrine good for? Since we're talking about it, citrine is good for It's good for attracting abundance in your life. It's good for attracting abundance in your life. It's good for friendship, attracting quality people in your life. Let me search my memory. What else was citrine good for? I don't remember too much about it. It's good with the sacral chakra, your creativity, and also your sexual energy. Hence the color of it, like an orange type of color, right? The real one's transparent. Absolutely, absolutely. Citrine. I have so many crystals, and I forget the meanings of all of them. Um, just I have a lot now, but some of them I do know like the back of my hand, right? Um, One thing that I can tell you about citrine is that you don't want to use it with tiger eye because they can actually neutralize each other. So if you're rocking, let's see, here we are. If you're rocking citrine and tiger eye, this is a raw piece of tiger eye. If you're rocking them at the same time, they're gonna neutralize out one another. So here's some tiger eye that's polished. This is mala beads, Mala, right? Mala, and mala bees are used for chanting. So there's 108. So you would chant something 108 times, like gum ganapati namaha, nama shivaya, nama shivaya, nama shivaya, nama shivaya. Right? You would do that 108 times. People are doing the japa yoga, japa Japa. That's called japa yoga, right? You use mala bees to do that. So um this is in its raw form. This is it in its good form. So this has similar attributes to citrine, but it also has additional attributes. This actually gives you power. Power. It's the power of the tiger, right? That's why they call it the tiger eye. So it gives you it resonates with your what do you call it? Your solar plexus. Unlike citrine is your sacral plexus. If you know anything about your solar has to do again with power. This helps you to get things done. This helps you to stay focused on the matter at a hand. Okay. Um, this also brings luck into your life, lots of luck into your life, and also good people into your life. It's also been said that this is known to attract wealth into your life as well too. I love Tiger Eye. I've been a fan of Tiger Eye for a long time. So I have a couple different Malibis, two of them, and both of them are actually Tiger Eye. Um, but it's cool in its raw form. I always thought about like imagine having a countertop right in your house and it was all tiger eye. That would be a cool countertop, right? Of course, it would be polished, and it would look something like this, or having like a oops, I got it on my crown, y'all. I got it on my crown. Let me get this out. All right, there we go. Put my crown back on. All right. Anyway, that's a little off, but damn, I'm struggling. Don't be laughing at me, y'all. All right, so here's the tiger eye, right? Here's a tiger eye. Oh, it would look nice in a restroom as well too. Imagine having like a tiger eye vanity or something like that, right? It's a beautiful stone, man. A beautiful stone. I really love it. I mean, some people, I think like Donald Trump and some other people, maybe Michael Jackson back when he was here, had like an all gold bathroom or something. Imagine having like all tiger eye, right? Or tiger eye bathtub and taking a bath in tiger eye. The essence of that, right? Powerful, powerful. So tiger eye is cool. I like it a lot. Um, I got a lot of crystals, man, and I didn't be hardly touch any of them. Um, what else are we gonna get into? Let me take a sip of this coconut water. Coconut water. Normally, I'm drinking fresh coconuts, but when I went on some journey to some ayahuasca journey, I'm not gonna talk too much about it. Like a month ago, I bought my big cleaver with me, and I bought a box of coconuts and gave them away to everybody. And I left my big knife that I used to open up coconuts. So I haven't bought a case recently of fresh coconuts, but I've been drinking this instead, which is organic coconut water. It has nothing but coconuts. So this is what people will consider. I think it's called H3O3 or something like that. People say don't drink water, drink this, whatever. But I've been drinking coconut way before people started talking about that, and it's good stuff. Coconut water is really good stuff. So This might not have as much prana in it. H3O2, thank you. This might not have as much prana in it, but it's definitely good stuff, and it does keep me hydrated. And when I go to yoga and when I go to the gym, I do about 5 miles every day at the gym on the treadmill, and then do some calisthenics and some other stuff. And when I do yoga, I get down. I lose a lot of water. I mean, all around me is soaked. It's soaked, right? Literally soaked. My clothes are soaked when I come home, and this keeps me hydrated. Good, y'all. Good. Like I work hard. I work really, really hard, and I'm activating my life right now. I'm transforming my life into something different because I wasn't happy with the way that everything was going. So I'm transferring it again. So yeah, I bought a whole case of these. 9 came in a case. I bought it for like $38 or something like that. So it's not that much. If you get a case of 9 coconuts, I think, which you don't get as much juice, maybe you get about this much, but it's fresh. So you can have more prana, more life force in it. You're buying it, they're charging you something like $27. So that's a good deal as well too, and you get to eat the coconut flesh on the inside because it's the baby coconuts, and that's really, really good as well too. Maybe one day if I ever get a knife again, I'll make a video about the coconuts and put that on the channel. But I just want to put that out there. I want to put that out there. Mm. So something just came to my mind, and I think I should show this to you guys. So I have a bunch of feathers on my wall, and I collect feathers as well too. It's just something special to me. If you guys ever been to a ceremony, you will know that they have things like turkey feathers or eagle feathers or whatever, and the shaman would, like, you know, take his thing of what do you call it? His it's not a sachet, but it's a big bundle of sage, right? He would take that. How would we do this? Do you have my lighter on me? Let me show you guys. Here we go. So you would take the sage, right? But he would have like a big bundle of sage. And then he would go like this, right? And there's something about feathers. It's just such a beautiful instrument, or such a beautiful creation that the universe has created, that Mother Earth has created. I mean, boy, is it good. It's better than any other fan. It's better than any fan that you can use, really. Like, birds are magnificent. They are magnificent. And so I have many different types of feathers, real small ones, real big ones. I have a couple. This comes from a peasant, I believe. I think it was a peasant. Or was it? I think it was a peasant. But my friend Joyce gave this to me. And when you're holding feathers, right? And when you think about qigong and how you're feeling the qi that's all around you, with our arms and our anatomy, we really that's sage. I had some Palo Santo. I lit it earlier. Here's Palo Santo right here. Yeah. So when we're doing qigong, right, and we're feeling the energy around us, right, you're going like this and all of that stuff. When you're holding a feather in your hand, you can really feel the chi around you. You can really feel it. Because think about it, birds are all up in the air. We know that air is closely related to chi, right? Closely related. And that's why even if you look at your fingers, how does it go? This is considered chi, your thumb, right? This is considered air, which is right next to the thumb. This is considered fire, your middle finger. This is considered water, your ring finger, and your pinky finger is considered earth, right? 5 elements, 5 fingers. That's why when you do certain mudras, what you're doing is you're activating the elements inside of your body. Okay, so there's a correlation between it, and I'm just saying how ether and air are so closely related, right? And many other ways that they are related as well too, right? Um, so oh, I love that. All of the birds, man. I love that. I love that. So when you're doing qigong, if you were to do it with 2 feathers, right? Because I have 3 feathers like this. Imagine doing qigong with feathers. You really begin to feel the air. I mean, you really begin to feel it. And depending on what feathers you use, whether if it's this one or if it's a smaller feather like this, it doesn't matter, right? Or if you're using something like this one comes from a turkey, right? We know turkeys fly. you can actually really feel the air around you. You can feel it so much more. Like this is a perfect instrument. So that's just something to keep in mind. I think feathers are cool. I think that when you actually hold the feather and you move it through the air, that you understand the relationship of the bird and you begin to tap into the consciousness of that bird. You really do begin to tap into the consciousness. Kind of like when you eat a certain plant, right? You take on the consciousness of that plant. What do you think mushrooms is when people do magic mushrooms, or when people do ayahuasca, or when people do peyote, or even when people do something else like marijuana or whatever, or tobacco, right? Or whatever you have, right? Even green tea. They're taking on the consciousness of that plant, right? So even when you eat meat, right? That's why people say, or vegetables or whatever, you're taking on that. You're bringing that consciousness into your body. So when you're doing these things, right? These movements of qigong with feathers in your hands, you really begin to understand the dynamics of that bird. For me, it's been a beautiful relationship, and a lot of information and insight and wisdom has really come into me. I've been blessed to come across that. But yeah, so that's that. And then you got many other feathers as well too. You're gonna see pigeon feathers, pick some up. You're gonna see crow feathers, pick some up. You might be blessed and have a feather like this. This is a little guy, right? But it's so beautiful, right? It's so beautiful. Um, all right, forces that drivers, man. I appreciate your support, man. I know you're in the UK and our times are different. So sleep tight, dream. Remember, if you're dreaming, if you're going to sleep because forces drive is about to go to sleep, use what is that? Do I have it? If you have amethyst on you, the amethyst crystal, here it is. If you have amethyst, sleep with amethyst underneath your pillow. And especially if you have it charged up in the sun. But if you don't, that's fine. Don't forget, you can always put kyanite with it to charge it up. But sleep with amethyst under your pillow. I guarantee you that your dreams will be beautiful. You would have some of the most extraordinary dreams. You would be so surprised at the dreams that you would have. So here you go. Right? But sweet dreams. Thank you for the support. Take care, bud. So yeah, feathers, right? Feathers are powerful. Feathers also have other magic to them as well too. I'm not too tapped into all of that magic. Um, just like you have spirit animals and things of that nature, and that's a whole different subject. But maybe we'll talk about that one time as well too, right? So what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Um, let's talk about this. And this is a treat for most people. This is a treat. There's something called magnets. I think you guys are familiar with magnets. And you have many different types of magnets. I forget all of the proper names. This one is extremely strong. Extremely strong, right? So you have this type, you have this type of magnet, right? Which is, I don't know if I have any metal around me. I guess I can show you guys a thumbtack, a tactic, Oregon energy. We can talk about Oregon energy. My friend Chef Almond, he makes Oregon devices, and he taught me how to make them. So maybe one day I'll make one, a pyramid or something like that, right? Actually, I do have an Oregon device. I do have one. A friend of mine's made it back for me in Atlanta, Georgia, 20 years ago, and I still have it, but it's in my other room, so I'm not going to get it right now. But we can talk about it. But anyway, so uh, thumbtacks, right? It's just basic metal, right? Okay, this is pretty strong. You guys can see it, right? This guy, look how fast this picks up. That's way stronger. This is a strong one, right? Okay, so this guy is really strong, and then you have these magnets right here. These are strong as well too. You have many different types of magnets. The other magnets, which are pretty cool, is these right here. This is a natural magnet. All right, the blue is for south, and the red is for north. You would think it would be the opposite, right? I would think red would be for south and blue would be for north, but it's not. So I feel something in here, man. Like that little crystal or whatever I swallow is like inside of me right here. Like I really feel it. why that happened. That was so strange. A lot of things been happening to me today. I felt like electricity running through my teeth, and then how the heck do I snort a crystal? Like what the heck, right? Anyway, um, and I'm sleepy too. I'm only going off 2 hours of sleep. I've been up since 10 o'clock last night. So interesting. Um, so yeah, natural crystals, natural, right? Natural. And I'm gonna talk about these. Not crystals, magnets. And then you have these guys right here. These are pretty cool. These are magnets as well too. So I'm a big fan of magnets, right? And then you have something called hematite, and we'll talk about hematite in a little bit. Oops, be careful. If you know anything about hematite, uh, right, it's not a magnet, but it has iron in it, right, which is cool. And hematite is good for activating your what do you call it? Your throat chakra. It's also good for your mind as well too. It's kind of functions under Mercury, which is interesting because the color of it as well too, right? But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay. There's so many subjects we can touch on. So many subjects. So magnets. What are magnets good for? Earlier, I talked about your meridian points. Remember how I was saying you can activate them, and I was talking about this right here. Yeah, I was talking about how you can activate them. And so when it comes to magnets, you can actually help the energy move through your points as well too if you're having blockages. A lot of things that issues that we have is just comes from blockages, really. And it's just about moving that energy. That's what Reiki's doing, moving that energy. Certain crystals are helping with that, moving the energy. The qigong is helping doing that, moving the energy. When you exercise, when you walk, you're moving that energy because energy likes to move. Energy doesn't like to be stagnant. So that's essentially where a lot of the problems are coming from. So that's even when we talk about like forgiveness. Forgiveness just means like, hey, don't hold on to that energy, right? That's it. It's just saying, hey, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, right? And like a child, right? What does a child do? A child lets it go. Just let it go. So, um, yeah, these magnets help with that. They help with that a lot. And what you can do is you can sleep with them underneath your pillow, or you can put them underneath your bed. You can also, if you have water, like a certain container where you keep your water in, put magnets underneath your water, and they will actually enhance your water. They did a study, and they magnetized the water, and they found out that the crops grew. I believe it was twice as big or 3 times as big. The water that has had an influence through magnets. So that's something interesting to take into consideration. Um, a couple things which you want to be careful with magnets. Anything like if you have, how would I do this? If you have some type of credit card, right, and you have this strip right here, they would tell you, hey, don't have magnets by this strip because you will unactivate your card, right? Have you guys ever heard that before? And if you have something like a flash disk or some disk like this, right, they would tell you to not keep it by magnets because that can mess up the data in it. Well, it's interesting they say that because your mind, which is also an electromagnetic field, right? Just like this is your aura, and your aura is your magnetic, and your aura is your magnetic field, right? And the Earth even has an electromagnetic field around it, as above, so below, as within, so without. So if you have a really strong magnet, like for instance this one, and if you keep that by your head, you can actually mess with your memories. You can literally mess with your memories exactly the same way that you can mess with the memories on this or the memories on a credit card or something, and the stripe doesn't function anymore. You can mess with the memories in your own head as well too. But Also, you can use something which is not as hard or not as tense. And you want to make sure that when you're doing this, what I'm about to tell you, that you're using the north side of it. You don't want to use the south side. South side. Nah, you want to use the north side, right? The north side. And think about our star, it's called Polaris, which is the North Star, right? The one that doesn't move, that's always fixed in the sky. That's actually the second sun, because we have two suns. We have our sun, and then the Polaris, and we actually go around Polaris. And Polaris, when we go around it, it takes 26,000 years. And through this 26,000 year cycle, we're going through different houses, and we have 12 houses. Really, it's 13, but we have 12 houses, and that's the zodiac sign, each house that we go through. And the time that you spend in each house, you divide 12 into 26,000, you come out with 2,180 years, and that's how much time we spend in each house. So, we just left the age of Pisces, and now we're in the age of Aquarius, and that's why we're starting to see all of these activations and everything. And this is why I'm actually here, why I incarnated on this planet, so that I could be of assistance and help with the transaction, or the transformation. I can help with the transformation. And so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why I'm telling you guys this information. That's why I have 7 circles. That's why I'm constantly doing what I'm doing, because people need to remember on who they are, right? They need to remember that they are beings of light, and that they are gods. God, literally, right? The gods, right? And so whether you agree with that or not, if you don't, the probably reason why you probably don't agree is because you have been indoctrinated by something called a Bible or some other type of document that was written, right? So, hey, welcome. Thank you for coming in, Rock Lee. I like that name. So yeah, and so again, you want to make sure you have the north, and this is going to help to activate your third eye. So if you have like a bandana, which I don't have on me right now, but I do have a do-rag, so maybe I can demonstrate this. Let me show you. And I just seen something else right now that I need to talk about that I haven't talked about yet, which is another herb. We're gonna hop back to some herbs. All right, put my do-rag on. I used to have waves back in the days, man. I used to have to brush, and I was brushing, and I would take this off and be like, "Ooh, look at the 360s!" And waves would be spinning, and me and my friends would be like, "Yeah, we got the waves and all that." And I would have the different colored do rags. One would be black on this side, one would be red. I would have a red Tommy Hilfiger shirt with some Tommy jeans or some Guess jeans and some red and black Jordans, and I just thought that I was the bomb, right? And I was just this young kid just trying to be accepted, right? Interesting times, man. All of the different lives that I lived, I'd be listening to the Locks and Jay-Z and Nas, and my friends would be doing all kinds of stuff that I don't even want to talk about right now. So interesting. So I just do this. All right. So this, ladies and gentlemen, and I really advise you guys, do not abuse this. Do not abuse this. Feel a very strong connection with you, brother. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. You can follow me. You can check out some more of my videos. You might vibe with them. I'm on YouTube, so I'm actually on YouTube streaming live simultaneously, and I have a lot of videos on there already. And I interview a lot of people. I got to put about 5 interviews up now. I'm doing another one tomorrow, podcast with people, and we talk about some. We talk about some real stuff. So yeah, so I'm talking about this, right? So you can have a bandana on your head or something like that. Let me get this going on. You can have a bandana on your head or something like that. And my YouTube, I'll show you guys. And the link is in my bio for my YouTube, but it's 7 Circles, SEVEN. You type that into YouTube, it should pop up. It's the same logo. You guys see my logo? It's the same logo is everywhere. You found it? Cool, beautiful. Thank you. So, yeah, one of these, right? And what you do is you put it right here. You can do this with the bandana or something else that can hold it into place. Put it there and hold it. Keep it there. Keep it there for about 20 minutes a day. Do this for a month for about 20 minutes a day. This is what you're going to find out that's going to happen. And I don't know. I'm thinking if I should say this or not, man. I don't know. But I think that it's okay. I think that it's okay. I think that it's okay. Remember, guys, magnets are powerful. They are really, really, really powerful. Really powerful. You have an electromagnetic field about you, right? The Earth has an electromagnetic field about her. We know that magnetism is like the feminine energy, whereas the electric is like the masculine energy. But magnets, we wouldn't have any motors without magnets, right? And do I have my motor with me? I don't have my motor with me. Just my motor mouth and my motor skills. Um, I was going to show you guys something. But yeah, we wouldn't have any motors without them. We wouldn't have a lot of things without magnets. They're very, very important. We wouldn't have any speakers without a magnet. These magnets right here I actually got from a speaker, the big one. So many things function off of magnetism. And the energy, just like anything else, we don't see it with our eyes, right? But we acknowledge it. It's a big part. It comes from us, our bodies, and from other things. And there's natural magnets as well, too. There's a special name for them. It's called magnetite, I think the name is, right? So I just found it. Live is hanging. I am divine goddess. You all are. This is beautiful. Thank you for that, Earthy 90. So yeah, so when you keep it here for about 20 minutes a day, you do this for 30 days. You aware of Anunnaki? Yeah, I'm aware of Anunnaki. I've actually interviewed a guy by the name of Anunnaki. And pretty much any topic, like I'm not trying to um be arrogant, which means to overly express one's importance. But I dabble in a lot of stuff. I won't even say dabble. I know about a lot of different topics. I've been like this for the longest, since like the age of 7. And my dad told me some stuff because my dad was really spiritual, and so I took off, man. My dad was is a master number 33 when it comes to numerology, and I'm a master number 11. So we're the only two master numbers in our whole family, even down the lines, right? So me and him had a close relationship, and yeah, I don't know, man. I just I know about a lot of this stuff. But that's a different topic, and I'm gonna be doing another podcast with my dad soon, and also with my mom as well too. We're gonna talk about some good topics. My mom has quite a lot of credibility. She has 2 doctor's degrees. She's an awesome lady, quite intelligent, but she's going to be talking about supernatural things that happened to her when she was younger. I did one podcast with my dad already, but now we're going to do another one, and we're going to talk about some family secrets and about things that happened that were spiritual that would be unexplained, and we're going to have a conversation about that. So I wouldn't call it a high level conversation. I would call it something like a high vibrational conversation. Okay. Um, so one thing that I just want to say about my dad to give you guys a little sneak peek. When he was younger, my dad's from Brooklyn, right? I'm from Queens. When he was younger, you guys might think this is crazy, but uh, do I have it up here? No, okay. But my dad was visited by people who were little when he was younger. He was about 9 or 10, and they would talk to him and play with him and my uncle, who's no longer here, right? Sheree Robert, that would be very interesting. Yeah, yes, it's going to be a great interview. So the people were about this small, and they will come into the room just like Indian in the Cupboard. Remember that movies? A lot of these movies are real, ladies and gentlemen. They have a lot of truth in them. They really, really do. But they would come into the room and they would talk to him. My dad had a lot of crazy experiences. So anyway, it's just my job. Like what I was telling you guys, I came to this earth on purpose to incarnate and to spread a message and to help to enlighten humanity. And I can do it any way that I want to do it. It's my choice, and I'm choosing to do it in this type of way, right? So, could have been plenty of times where I could have been a rapper, where I could have done this, I could have done that, and I always thought about it like, is this the path that I want to go down? And I can kind of use my thoughts to look into the future and see if that's where I wanted to go. But that's not it. That's not it. It didn't resonate with me. But anyway, once you have this inside of here, right? You have this inside of here. Um, 20 minutes a day, 30 days. Eventually, what you're going to do is you're going to recognize that you're going to start to see things. You're going to start to see things. You're going to see into different dimensions eventually. You're going to see into different dimensions. And think about how closely related the dimensions are, right? Like, for instance, if a baby is inside of the stomach, what is the experience of that baby, right? It's in its own dimension. But how far is the other dimension for it to see a whole new dimension? It's just skin deep. What about a fish in the water, right? And then that's is living in its own dimension. But how far is that from this dimension right here, Earth? It's close. It's close, right? It's like literally this. It's not even this, a paper thin, right? So there are many different dimensions, and so by doing this, you're actually going to start to see into many different dimensions. There's been one guy. He told a story of, and I've heard some other things about this in the past as well too, and I just think that it's important to put it out there. But nothing should ever be abused. I want you guys to notice that there really is something called karma. There really is something called whatever you put out is going to come back, right? If you're an electromagnetic frequency, I'm gonna say this before I keep talking about it, right? If you have an electromagnetic frequency around you, right, which is essentially a torque, the energy is going like this. It's going like this, right? The energy is going like this, and if you have a high vibration, right, and the way that you can raise your vibration, I was taught this one. You say this 11 times. I am full of love. I am full of love. If you do this 11 times every day, your field, your electromagnetic field gets freaking gigantic. Do you know that Buddha, the Gautama Buddha, right? That his aura field was 200 miles. That you could feel him from 200 miles away. I mean, I'm in the Bay Area, man. I don't even think the Bay Area is 200 miles, right? Like from where I am to San Francisco is like 15 miles or something like that. 200 miles, right? So just to put it back out there is that whatever you do, there are no secrets in the universe, right? I just interviewed a lady yesterday, and she teaches people how to see without using their eyes, right? And she does this, and I might show you guys on TikTok anyway. I can do it because I got to use my laptop. I can show you guys a quick interview about it, and I'm going to put the interview up like next week. Her name is Nikki. She has a channel called Tuned and Inspired. Uh, she's an awesome lady. But anyway, there's no secrets. You can't lie. You can lie on this third dimensional plane, and people who are unconscious won't recognize it. But even when you're lying, you can look up in that part of your brain, and you can tell. If you're good, you can tell when somebody's lying. You can even feel it when somebody's lying. But on the higher planes, there is no lying. You can just look at somebody's color and tell. It's like a little child. Like, did you pee in the bed and their pants are wet and their bed is wet? And they're like, no, I didn't. You're like, whatever. You know already, right? You know. So what I'm saying is that if you abuse something, if you do something, then that's your fault and that's your karma. And that you might be close to ascending, you might be close to doing something really, really awesome. And then all of a sudden, you make a couple wrong mistakes. You say the wrong thing, you create this big karmic debt. And hey, your ass, I want to put it like that, your ass, right? Your ass might have to stay here for another 1,000 years or something like that. You might have to wait until another Kali Yuga cycle, right? Another 26,000 years to orbit around the what do you call it? The Polaris, right? The North Star. You might have to wait. You might have to wait. So be careful because what you do and what you say really does affect people. Your words are powerful. Your words are powerful. Your words are powerful. Do not underestimate the word. Why did they kill Jesus? Because of his word. Why did they kill Martin Luther King? Because of his word. Why did they kill Gandhi? Because of his word. Why did they kill JFK? Because of his word. Why did they kill so many people nowadays? Because of the word. Why does YouTube censor people? Because of his word. Why did TikTok censor people? Because of their words. Words are so powerful. Words can kill people. Words can help people. Words could tear down a nation. Words could build up a nation. Words could tear down your body or build up your body. Words are powerful. Don't underestimate them. Do not underestimate your words. So be careful what you do. I need to put out that disclaimer. So anyway, with that being said, right, you can see into different dimensions eventually, and your pineal gland becomes more and more activated, and yeah, you can get really deep into it. I had a couple small experiences. I'm not going to talk about it too deeply. I don't like to put out my stuff like that. Even like when it comes to yoga, you don't. I once in a while I put out some yoga poses, and I did do this when I was younger. I would show off a lot, but it's not made to showboat. It's not made to show off. On teaching levels, if you're teaching somebody and you're doing a demonstration, I think that that's totally fine. But for me to just be blah 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 blah, no, that's not how it works. And I'm careful about the environment that I'm creating as well too, and making sure that I'm not creating any karma. But like the people who's like the breatharian, or like the lady who is demonstrating how she can do that with her eyes, or Wayne, or whatever, these are perfectly fine, man. These are teaching tools, and this is so. A lot of people need to see things before they can believe it. Some people need to believe it in order to see it. So, in order for us to increase the frequency, and for people to understand that they are God and that they can do these beautiful things, sometimes it's necessary to show a demonstration to increase the belief or the faith of that person until eventually they can do it by themselves. You said, what kind of creatures are these small are these small men? Yeah, so I'm not going to talk about anything else about that. This is going to be an interview with me and my dad. This is my dad. I love him, and we're going to get deep into it. My dad's quite a character. He's a little bit different now because he's a little bit older, I guess you could say. Um, I don't know how old he is now, but it's not important because we're all young anyway. That's all just a thing. Age, right? Age is really, we shouldn't even talk about age, to be honest with you guys. The birthday, when are you born, blah blah blah. All of that's BS, right? Um, yeah, going by these calendars, these Gregorian calendars, Julian calendars. Literally, man, we just should be living, and not even paying attention to that stuff. You said, "Come on, man, I'm really interested." Yeah, man, for real though, for real. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of stuff out there. I'm not gonna talk about it. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of stuff that happened in my family, and we're gonna talk about some of it. I'm an open book. I think it's time for all of this information to get out there. And yeah, just stay tuned. I mean, I'm going to be posting these things eventually on my channels and whatnot, and I want to make sure that I get it straight. I want to talk to my dad at first, and this is why I'm very adamant about what I say, because again, I'm responsible for everything that I say. So I want to make sure that I get these things 100% accurate before I put anything out. Yeah, the YouTube, are these podcasts on your YouTube channel currently? Yeah, a lot of the podcasts are on my YouTube channel. Just go on YouTube and look up interviews up top under playlist, right? Playlist, and then go to interviews, and you're gonna see. Also, I have something where you can be a member now. In the member part, I'm putting in videos that are not on my YouTube channel, videos that are behind the scenes, like when I went out with Ellie Tom Elamine, the breatharian, when I had what's the other girl's name? Another girl that came down here to San Francisco. I did an interview with. I'm sorry, I forget her name. And also the lady we talked about different things. The lady Nikki, who I just had on, we did a quick 5-minute video. So it's only like $5 a month if you support me on membership. I haven't had anybody do it yet on my YouTube channel, but maybe somebody will, and that'd be awesome. I will definitely appreciate it. Lit, I got you. Thanks. Absolutely, absolutely. Are they like goblin or childish? From what I remember, he told me the story a couple of times, but it's still a vague memory. But I remember what they told me is that they were just like little men, just like little men. And it's really interesting, right? Indian in the cupboard. There are people, if you guys notice, man, obviously, if you're watching me and the algorithm has brought you to me, is that um, you would know. I'm pretty much assuming, right, that you would know that there are many, many, many things on this planet that people don't know. They do know about, but it's not going to be in the mainstream consciousness. And I'm sure you've seen. I mean, even think about this, man. Even if you guys are not on that wave of thinking, but you are considered a Christian, right? A Christian. Every Christian will tell you the story of David and Goliath. They talk about this in motivational videos. David, he beat Goliath, right? David was like, I think the name, what they said is they were like grasshoppers, right? That Goliath was giant. We seen bones, we seen many other things. So if there are people that are that big, there are also people that are this big. There are also people that are that big, people that are that big, that big. There are many different types of peoples. And exactly how I was saying that there are many different dimensions, such as when you're a baby or a fish in the water or whatever have you, there are many different dimensions. We'll only see 1% of the light spectrum we can see with our eyes. 1%, right, of the light spectrum. This makes up white light. And we can only see 1% with our eyes. And we know that we take in most of our data. I think it's safe to say about 60 to 70% of our data through our eyes, through our stimuli. So, and we know that our eyes, they lie all the time, that our eyes are not true. And this is why we can play mind games. We can have one circle that's blue, one circle that's red, put them next to each other and say which circle is bigger. And people will go, oh, the blue, oh, the red, oh, that. And the trick is that both of them are actually the same size, right? Because our eyes can't be trusted. Our senses can't be trusted. Our smell, our taste, our whatever. So it's just important to know that there's so much more out there. And the process of beginning to free yourself and beginning to open your mind, first and foremost, is to believe. Belief is a real energy. Shout out to Master Wayne, right? To actually have faith, to know that you can do it. To me, faith is an acronym. FAITH. It stands for fully anticipating it to happen. Fully anticipating it to happen. FAITH. Faith. Have faith, right? If you don't have faith yet, then at least have a belief. Then turn your belief into faith, and then eventually your faith will become a knowing. It happens like that. You can grow your belief system and grow it into faith, and then grow your faith into knowledge. Just like anything, just like you can grow this plant, just like a feather actually grows. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't know that, but a feather actually grows. Just like what else? Just like a crystal. This is actually growing. Crystals actually grow. I think you guys know this. Have you ever been to a crystal cavern and you got these crystals, right? Yeah, fully anticipating it to happen. Faith, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So, yeah, guys, yeah. It's many things out there, and this is part of my mission. This is part of my mission. I'm going to be doing something else as well too when I get some time. Interview about rods. Have you guys heard of rods before? RODS. Rods are a life form that lives in our atmosphere, in the actual air, and they are gigantic. They're anywhere between 6 to 9 feet, and they move extremely fast. Some of them move up to 600 miles per hour. Some of them move faster than that. These things can go, and they're conscious, and only certain people can see them. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but I it's okay to say this. Since I was younger, I could always see these little objects, always, and people would tell me, "No, Jonathan, that's your eyes." I remember being young in Queens. I tell my sisters and brothers, "That's your eyes, man. Just the spots on your eyes." And then I'd be like, "No, but I can see them moving and blah 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 and blah blah blah, right?" And I actually see a whole bunch of little photons of light moving all over the place. And I don't see them every day, but when I say I want to see them, like right now, I say I want to see them, and then they form, and I can really see them really good outside, right? Just so, remember how I talked about the 5 elements, right? And I talked about your finger corresponds to those 5 elements. That this is prana, this is air, this is fire. Sorry about that. This is water, and this is no. I'm sorry. I'm messing up. Prana, right? Prana, air, fire, water, and this is earth, right? And I talked about how those corresponds to the elements in your body. And by doing mudras, right? Like this is a mudra. This one means peace. This is by the Gautama Buddha. So this would be your prana, and this would be your water. So it would be the 2 water and the prana. And you meditate like that. This is peace, right? Some people know of different mudras like this. You take all of them, interlock them, and go like this. When I meditate like this, right? This really activates me and gets me to go into a meditative state really quickly. You know how sometimes it takes a while to get into that meditative state? Sometimes you just want to have your hands open and surrendering, right? Open like this. Other times, this is called the Brahman, the Brahman mudra. Brahman means God in Sanskrit, right? So you take your thumb which is your prana. You take all 5 elements and close it like that. Same right here, and you put them together like this, and you meditate like this, right? So it's a lot of different ways to tap in. And the reason why I'm talking about this, because I was going to tie it up. What was I talking about? I was talking about, I lost my train of thought. Help me out, guys. What was I saying before I got into that? Want to go live with me? If you want to go live, actually not right now, because it's going to take me out my zone. Um, is it normal to see Shadowman? Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Thank you for reminding me. I was talking about the rods, and I'll talk about Shadowman in a minute. Whew. Damn, I'm going on 3 hours, man. This is a while. I'm giving you guys some good stuff, man. I hope that you appreciate it. A lot of stuff I'm not digging too deep into, but I'm giving you a lot of keywords of things that you can search and find out more. So anyway, with rods, right? Think about the elements, right? Again, you have prana, you have air, you have water, you have fire, and you have earth. Okay. Life lives everywhere. Life is everywhere. Don't listen to the stuff that is being pushed in the news, and they tell you about the solar system, and they say, oh, we've been searching for life on another planet. Eventually, we're going to find life on another planet. Listen to that. That's a brainwash. Life is everywhere. This universe is teeming with life. If I look inside of this soil and I have a microscope, too bad I plugged in the wrong adapter and I burnt the light out. So I got to get a new light now. But when I look into the microscope, you can see life everywhere. If you look inside a pond of water, you see life everywhere, right? If you go to the North Pole, life is there. If you go down even to the lava, life is there. When I used to live in the Poconos in PA, in the snow, there was so much life in the snow. These little bugs will pop up. There's life in fire, believe it or not, right? And then people say, oh, that's not life. There's life in fire. There's life all up in the air, right? I was telling you I can see those little things moving around. Life is everywhere. It's everywhere. And it's just because our eyes only see this one spectrum, and we're so fixated on our physical senses, right? Our 5 senses, that we are not tapped into the higher part of ourselves. But the minute we get tapped into this higher parts of ourselves, we start to experience more things and start to see more things. And this is why doing this 20 minutes a day, that will actually help you out so that you can actually begin to see beyond the realm. But be careful, because it's like that show where that movie, I don't know if you guys know it, but when you take the glasses off, you begin to see the reality for what it really is. So keep that in mind. What else? Oh, Shadowmen. Yeah, Shadowmen are definitely real. What was your question about Shadowmen? Shadowmen was, yes, I'm going to rewatch this stream on YouTube later. I can relate. Okay, cool. It's a good thing I put it on YouTube, right? Because with TikTok, you can't watch it. You know what I'm saying? You can't bring it back unless if I put the recording up, and that takes a lot of time. Is it normal to see shadow people? Yeah, so a lot of people see shadow people, man. A lot of people. I see them all the time, and this is interesting. This is how I know for a fact that shadow people are real, because sometimes you can see something out the side of your eye, right? Like I could be here and I can see something, and then I turn around and be like, oh, that's just a bird sitting on the fence, right? Or I could be like, oh, that's a fly, or oh, that's the hands of the clock moving. Like my senses are sharp and they're picking these things up. But then I would see other things moving and I'd be like, oh, I know what that was. Right. It wasn't just something like, oh, I'm tripping. Like I know. And this is what I'm telling you guys, man, that life is everywhere. There are gnomes, there are leprechauns, there are titans, there are fairies, there are mermaids, there are many dimensional beings, there are aliens of all types, from reptilians to draconians to um, all kinds of things. There are rods, there are all kinds of spirits, there are deities, there are humans, there are big humans and small humans, there are everything. There are half horse and half this and all kinds of stuff. Everything, all these fantasy creatures and whatnot. These things are real, guys. These things are real. You just have to raise your frequency. You have to raise your frequency. You have to raise your frequency. The only thing that's imprisoning you is your thought. That's it. That's it. And that's the only thing that's imprisoning all of us. Things that we tell ourselves. A lot of us, we we fight for our own limitations. You would tell somebody the truth, and that's not true. We fight for our own limitations. We do, and we just need to step out of that. We need to step out of it. Grassy is gonna stay till the phone battery dies. Yeah, I feel you on that. I'm in the flow state. Yeah. What they say? What did who say? That's what I do. What are we talking about? I'm missing this. Traumas. That's facts. Cool. I don't know. I'm kind of lost on that. But yeah, y'all. I don't know. I don't know if I have any other things that I want to touch on. We touched on so many things already. This is going on 3 hours. I'm more than welcome to stay and keep chit chatting, but you guys got to ask me some more questions, and then I'll respond. I'll respond. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about. Good thing I looked at this. So I talked about the reishi mushrooms already, and how there's a special type of reishi mushroom, right? That can actually, they call it the mushroom of immortality. Um, there's something called, you guys. That's why you guys need to go to Chinatown. Don't get your herbs from Rite Aid. Don't get your herbs from Whole Foods. Get the actual raw form, right? It might not look as pretty. It might not have a nice label, right? It doesn't matter, man. It comes from Mother Earth, and it's going to be the most potent. Because a lot of things that you get is watered down. So this right here, this is ginseng. This is ginseng. And a lot of you guys are drinking those energy drinks. A lot of you guys are drinking coffee. A lot of you guys are drinking or taking what is it called? The Energy 5 drinks or something like that, right? The caffeine overdose. You guys are hurting yourselves. I was a chef for 27 years, and I lost 3 cooks throughout my career as a chef. 3 cooks. And I've seen the rise, because I've been doing this for a long time. I've seen the rise of energy drinks when they first came into existence. I remember when energy drinks didn't exist. I remember people would drink the coffee, right? Maybe a little green tea is fine, right? But people would drink the coffee, and that was the thing, right? But then energy drinks came and people abused them. They shouldn't even be drinking them. One energy drink has, I don't know how many cups of coffee, right? And so a lot of people, I mean, the people that I lost, all 3 of them had heart attacks. And it's sad, man. Those were some good guys, great guys, right? They worked really hard. I worked with a lot of Latinos in my life, my Latino family. Cause heart attacks and high blood pressure, absolutely, right? So if you need energy, Mother Earth provides everything. She provides everything. She is the mother. She is the mother. Do not underestimate Mother Earth. Stop being reliant on the system of realm. Realm is R for religion, E for educational, A for agriculture, L for law, M for media, M for monetary, and M for medical. Stop relying on realm, right? Rely on Mother Nature. Mother Nature gave you your body. She's your mother. Mother Nature gives you your food. Even the medical system, before it was corrupted by hypocrisy, what did he say? Let food be your medicine. Let medicine be your food. He did not say let pharmaceutical be your medicine and let processed food be your medicine. He did not say that. He was in tune with the astrology. Another thing that hypocrisy said, he said that a physician who does not have knowledge of astrology is not a physician. Powerful statements. Powerful statements. This is hypocrisy. The founder of the Western medicine, right? So anyway, back to ginseng. This is what you guys should be taking instead. Ginseng is so powerful. It's so good. There was a piece of ginseng that was, I think, 1,000 years, and it went on auction. Because the older the ginseng, the more potent it is. Like if you get a pound of ginseng from Chinatown, it costs like $100. But a pound is a lot. A pound is heavy. So like this amount that I have here, this might have cost maybe like $8 or something like that, right? It's fine. It's fine, whatever. This is gonna last for a while. I can make teas out of it and many other things. I also just like to chew on it. Once you chew on it for a while, it starts to taste really good. You just start and you find out that your body's craving it, this will give you long life, long life, long life, long life, long time, right? This will give you this symbol right here. How does it go? Maybe I can do this hand better. The Star Trek symbol. Live long and prosper, right? This will give you good life, good energy. And for if you're a guy, it would make you like this, right? You don't got to take no Viagra or nothing because that stuff is hurting you too. And that's also a product of the pharmaceutical. So watch out for that. Watch out for that because laugh now, cry later. Laugh now, cry later. Look at Kevin Samuels. Let him be a lesson, right? Kevin Samuels, I believe he was taking Viagra, and I know he was drinking Red Bulls all the time, right? He had it in his life. Kevin Samuels, you guys remember him? Passed away. Some say it was a cocaine overdose. Some say it was a combination of many different things. But save your seed whenever you can, which is your ovaries. If you're a woman, your sexual energies or whatever. If you're a man, right, save your semen, right, and stick back to Mother Nature, man. Stick back to Mother Nature. Stick back to her. Stick back to her. She's your mother, man. She's your mother. How you gonna trade your mother for some type of machine that some person made up or whatever, right? So, Gen Z, invest in Gen Z. Go down to how to know good Gen Z. So go down to your Chinatown. I don't know where you live, but most places have a Chinatown. I lived in Philly, they got a Chinatown. New York got the biggest Chinatown. San Francisco got a big Chinatown. Actually got lost there a couple times. Oakland has a decent sized Chinatown. Other places have Chinatowns. Find a Chinatown near you. I know you have one near you. Second of all, go to any store. Ask them, do they have Gen Z? Everybody knows Gen Z. It's a common thing, right? Or even if you don't have a Chinatown, go to um go to an Asian grocery store. You know how you have those Asian grocery stores? You got Latino grocery stores. Go to an Asian grocery store and you can find some inside of there as well. And normally, the more expensive the price, the older the Gen Z is. So the older the Gen Z is, the more wisdom it's going to have inside of it, which means that that's going to transfer over into you. Because again, just like with ayahuasca, just like with peyote, just like with marijuana, just like with tobacco, just like with the crystals, your consciousness becomes one with that consciousness. That's why when we talk about eating meat, right? We talk about eating processed foods, and I can get into that later, right? But we talk about how animals are treated and they get slaughtered and blah blah blah. It's not like you're like the polar bear, right? The polar bear. Let's do a little show for you guys. The polar bear is just doom to doom to doom, and it sees a little fish, right? This is a little fish, right? It sees the little fish. This is a jade. It sees the little fish, and then all of a sudden, it's oops, I lost it. I lost it. I gotta go fishing. Goldfish. All right, here we go. So it sees the little fish in the water, and then boom, it eats the fish. Right, that's done. The fish is over. This is now is getting whatever it gets from the fish. Right, it's getting omega fatty 3 acids and some this vitamin, some of that, some other minerals, whatever. Right, and so that's the life of the polar bear. That's cool. The fish, fine, done. Right. We have put animals in a cage. Do you know that the fish, the salmon, right, and they have that color that is known for salmon, kind of like a salmon color like this. When you raise salmon in a farm, they don't have that color anymore. And so what the farms do is now they put dye inside of the fish food so that when they eat it, then it can actually change the color of the fish. So they don't have that natural color anymore. And so even with cows and things of that nature, you have to guys have to understand that these animals are not natural animals, right? And that what they have done to them, everybody thinks that they're smart, right? Oh, I'm gonna end this curse with generational wealth, right? I'm gonna end this drama in my family that has been in my family since a long time. Epic genetics. Am I saying it right? Epic genetics, epigenetics, right? You guys know about that, like whatever trauma your father had, your grandfather, then they got passed down to you, etc. Right? And people are talking about ending it. Well, if this is true in, and this is true on the human level, right? If this is true on a human level, what do you think it is on an animal level? Doesn't that animal have trauma that's being passed down to the other animals? Isn't that epigenetics as well too? And then when you consume it, right? You consume it. It's not like you're the little fish, right? That doesn't have anything. It's just living his life. And then Mr. Polar Bear comes and just. It's not like that, right? It's trauma after trauma after trauma, right? Because they're breeding the cows to have mother cows, blah blah blah. It's a process, right? It's a process. The pig, same thing. Everything else, same thing, right? And so when you eat that, you're taking on that consciousness. You're taking on the epigenetics of it. So my point was, because what was I saying? How did all of this tie into? What were we going into? Most Asian markets, healthful stores have ginseng roots and blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, absolutely beautiful. So, um, yeah, yeah. It's important. It's important to recognize this. And I'm not gonna say that Meek's bad. I'm not gonna say that Meek's good. I think that you need to be your own person. I've made a lot of videos about veganism, about plant-based, about vegetarians and things of that nature. To each his own. I'm not here to be nobody's policeman. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I do what I do, what feels best for me. I was raised a vegetarian. Then I kind of had my rebellious years when I was in Penn State, 18. I ate meat for a whole entire year. I got big. It wasn't good for me. I didn't like it. I changed my diet, went back to my original diet. But as a chef, I continued to cook meat, not something that I would do anymore. Now it goes against my values in a whole different realm. But to each his own, man. But even what's going on right now, I don't know if you guys seen the podcast that I did. I can't say the guy's name because he kept it anonymous, but I did a podcast and it's on my channel, Seven Circles on YouTube, or if you guys are on YouTube or not. But I did it, and the guy, his face is blocked out. He doesn't want his face shown, but he had a job in the slaughterhouse. He had a job in Petaluma, California, which is the biggest chicken manufacturing place in the United States for their chickens and also for their eggs. And he worked in a slaughterhouse. He could only do it. I think, how long did he do it? I think he did it for a couple months and then he couldn't do it anymore. And he tells the story. I ask him all the questions. I dig deep, right? I dig deep, and I'm getting better as a journalist and as a interviewer, right? Now I'm starting to be more comfortable. Now I'm not starting to care what anybody's thinking. My chakra, my throat chakra is activated, and you guys can listen to the interview and find out exactly what's going on and the trauma of those chickens. So yeah, I'm just saying, be careful what you attach your consciousness to, because then you're going to have to live out those things. Those things become a part of you, right? And that can happen in a positive aspect, as it does with crystals, right? This crystal has a consciousness. I attached it to me, and now me and the crystal becomes one. The crystal helps me on my journey, right? And the same thing can happen with food, right? That's how people get poisoned. That's how people have psychedelic experiences. That's also how people become healthy and have good experiences. And it's also how people become in a place where they're at a low frequency and they can't get out. So, I mean, it goes both ways, right? It depends on how you want to use it. Everything's negative, everything's positive. It depends on you and how you choose to um, be an alchemist, if you will, or if you choose to be a wizard. It's all up to you. It's all up to you. So that's what I got on that. Um, Let me know, guys. You guys have any questions? Because I could keep going. I really could keep going. I really could keep going. I read some of these comments. What do you say? Facts, facts, facts. Not surprised. I feel that. I on its way out. Love, gratitude. Okay, you out of here, manifesting. Right. See you on the next live. Cool. Take care, brother. Dakota, what's going on? Good to have you in. If anybody wants to join, I'll let you guys join. Sorry, YouTube. I don't think that you guys can join. But if anybody wants to join on TikTok, that's fine. Once again, just to let you guys know, those also on TikTok. Follow me on YouTube. Links in my bio. Just go to YouTube, type in Seven Circles, or just go to my bio and press YouTube from there. Those on YouTube, just to let you know, I now have a membership channel. You can support me if you want to support me on that type of way. What I'm putting up is videos that I don't have on here. It's videos behind the scenes with other people. We're talking about different topics. It's pretty cool. And we get a little bit deep. We talk about some stuff that's not on the regular platform, behind the scenes. What do you think about white being aliens? Um, So this is what I think about white being aliens. And I did an interview, by the way, with with Jane Elliott, famous lady. She was on an Oprah show. I didn't post the interview. I'll post it soon. She's 90, born in 1933. She's an activist. She talks a lot about racism. She's known for doing the experiment in the 1940s or 50s with the brown eyes versus the blue eyes. If you guys know her, let me know her. Okay. So, um, what was he gonna say? Yeah, so about whites being aliens. There are no white people, first and foremost. White and black is just a construct that they made to divide people. So first and foremost, I get it, it's for conversational sakes, so you gotta say it like that. But we really need to get out of that mind frame. And I just even back this up with some easy facts. Back when there was something called Jim Crow law, right, which is where the whites had to drink, and I'm using that term for conversational sakes, where whites had to drink from one water fountain and blacks had to drink from another one. They couldn't use the same restrooms, so on and so forth, right? Um, with that being said, oh yeah, there were signs that said no blacks, no Irish, no Jews, no Italians, and no dogs, right? No blacks, no Jews, no Italians, and no Irish, and no dogs are allowed. They have many signs like this. You guys can find this. Just history. It's kind of recent history, right? And so now all of a sudden, Irish are considered white, Italians are considered white, and Jewish are considered white, right? Blacks aren't, and dogs aren't. But the other two are. It just lets you know that they tied it into that it's a construct. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there, right? We're all brothers and sisters, guys, regardless of what planets we came from, whatever. Uh, Based on my research, based on my intuition, is that we are all aliens. A lot of people like to say that we're the original people of the Earth and that we originally came from the Earth. We're not our Earth people. We are cosmic beings. Cosmic beings. Have you guys done the research and find out about the lady on the moon in a spacecraft that they found? Black lady. Her body was pretty much preserved, but it wasn't alive, it wasn't animated. Have you guys looked at Mars, at the actual Mars, and dug deep into it and found out that people there were actually darker skinned people on many other planets as well too? Palladians, right, which are white. Everybody is the universe is teeming with life, right? It is teeming with life. They say, "Oh, we haven't found life on other planets." We have. It's a lie, ladies and gentlemen. It's a lie. 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 It is a lie. There are aliens, so-called aliens, space brothers, what I call them, on this planet right now. They're on this planet right now. It's just that you don't know it. Some of them look just like me. Some of them look just like you. They might be a little bit different, right? In some ways that you don't even notice, because every human looks different anyway. But they're here. There are many people. There are many beings that are here. Many humanoids that are here. And it's not about a black and white thing. We really need to get out of. We really need to get out of that mindset, because what we do is we're in that mindset. You know what it is? It's this. It's a religious mindset. You know everything that I told you guys about realm. Realm, by definition, in biblical terms, in dictionary, and in Wikipedia, realm means kingdom, right? And the acronym that I came up, realm, REALMMM. It stands for R for religion, E for educational, A for agriculture, L for law, M for media, M for monetary, M for medical. The religious, they divide, right? The educational system, they divide. Agriculture, not so much. The law definitely divides. I mean, even seen that with Jim Crow law, and it still goes on, right? What else? The media definitely divides. You see this all the time with the division. The Dems, the public. Fox is all about the Republic. This is all about the Dem. Blah 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 blah. It goes on and on and on, right? The monetary definitely divides, and you guys don't notice as well, but it's true. And the medical divides as well too. What is it called? Divide and conquer. You're ever supposed to be the United States of America? We're not united. You guys need to get united. How do you get united? You start with your thoughts. Get united inside of your mind. Stop feeding into the propaganda. Stop feeding into the propaganda. Realize that everybody's your brother and sister. If we were so different, we would not be able to have sex with one another and produce a child, right? If it was that different, like the same kind will produce the same kind. This is just a fact. Can a lion and a zebra, without the assistance of science, come together and have a child? No. but I can get with the so-called white lady or Asian lady or this lady or that whatever and have intercourse and we can produce a child together. We're all brothers and sisters, man, and we live in different climates. We live in different climates. Do you know that when I'm in California, my skin looks like this, but when I'm in Atlanta, Georgia for like a year, I get way darker, right? My skin changes. It changes. And if you're gonna do that over a year, over many and many of times, things begin to change. But yes, we change, and then also yes, we're everywhere. We're cosmic beings. We're all over the place. We're all over the place, not just so-called black, not just so-called white, not native, not this, everybody. And the Native Americans would tell you that. I have native in my family, by the way. I have a lot of stuff. I have Irish in my family. I have native. I have Ghana. I have a lot of stuff in my family. This book right here, myths and legends of American Indians. You guys would be surprised the story. This book is comprised of many different stories. Right, there are probably something like 500 to 1,000 different stories in this book, 500 to 1,000, and you'd be surprised at some of the stuff that you read about this stuff. Right, surprise, surprise. So and I got other information as well too, right? I mean, this stuff goes deep, guys. This stuff goes deep. We just need to stop dividing. We really need to stop dividing. We need to come together, regardless of skin color. Like what I was telling you guys earlier, is something called forgive. Whatever happened, happened, and the things are still happening right now. I get it, but how do you eradicate it? Right? You embrace it with love. You embrace it with forgiveness. Right? You say, "Oh, you hate me." Oh, poor you. I have so much compassion for you that you hate me. Come here. Give me a hug. Oh, no, I don't want to give you a hug. No, come here. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. I love you. Come here. No, 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 no. Come here. Okay. It's ridiculous, man. This needs to stop, y'all. This needs to stop, man. This needs to stop. It really does, man. It's just going round and round and round the same thing, man. And they just keep on pushing it. They push the violence. They push the wars. They push this. They push that. What it really is they're just trying to find territory inside of your mind because they want to control you. And how do they control you? They control you with fear. If you didn't have any fear, if you were embraced totally in love, they wouldn't be able to control you. They wouldn't be able to control you. Just like Ralph Smart said, their biggest fear is you coming into power, and your biggest power is you releasing your fear. I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what he said. And that's facts. I agree with him 100%. We need to wake up, ladies and gentlemen. We need to wake up. We need to wake up. We need to wake up. And so we can use these tools to help us to wake up. We can use the sage. We can use the crystals. We can use the metals. We can use the different herbs, the reishi and the ginseng and the many other things. We can do the grounding or the earthing, as we call it. We can use the singing bowls. We can use the other. We can use the other instruments. We can use the tuning forks. We can use the chanting. Right, we can go deep on that. You can do the meditation. You can do the mudras. You can do the sun gazing. You can do the fasting. You can do it all. And you can constantly keep raising your vibration. And eventually you can vibrate out of this reality and create your own reality. Don't forget who you are. Don't forget who you are. You are the living God. You're the living God. Period. That's it. No comma, no nothing. Boom. Period. Period. Definitely love is the way. Bless. I am one. My form is similar to Silver Surfer. I love that. And documents, governments call Latinos aliens. Yeah, it's whatever, man. I ain't worried about no government. So language, man. They use that as a trick. They use language to enslave people and trick people. What do you think? How do you think the Native Americans happened? It's through words, man. A lot of these so-called blacks are really the native people on this land, and they changed it through words. Have you know anything about the U.S. Census? You know, the U.S. Census, they just identified people as whatever. You can go and do your own research on that. I'm not going to get into that right now. And also with a lot of the Native American treaties, they tricked them like that. That's why I talk about realm, REALMMM. The L is for law. The law is the words. The words are tricks, right? It's tricks, man. It's tricks. It's a bunch of tricks. That's why it's called politics, not politics. It's politics. And what do politicians do? They make policies. And what are policies? A bunch of words. And how do you spell policy? Pol. How do you spell policy? Polccy, right? And how do you spell police? Police. The only difference between police and policy is the E and Y, and those could be interchangeable. They're interchangeable. The police are the ones that enforce the policies, and the politicians make the policies. Haven't you guys seen that? I can't say certain things because now I'm on YouTube, so I gotta relax. But policy and police, they're the exact same word. And realm, that's the real way to spell realm, REALMMM. But the way that I spell it is REAL. Well, the real way to spell it is REALM, but I spell it REALMMM. I add on 2 additional M's, and I made an acronym out of it. I was thinking, and I was like, what are the institutions that make up this society? And it's the religious institution, it's the educational institution, right? First one's religion, which is your spirit. Second is educational, which is your mind. The third one is the agriculture, which is your body, right? And then you have the law, which is the L. Then you have the media. Then you have the monetary, which is the money. And then you have the medical. Those 7 structures, and they create a word called realm. But ironically, if you look up the definition of realm, REALM, in the Bible, in biblical terms, in the dictionary, and also in Wikipedia, realm is defined as a kingdom, a monarch kingdom. And the definition that they give, or an example that they give, is the German Empire. It's all out there. It's all out there. It's all out there. The minute you start expressing yourself and activate your throat chakra, the truth comes to you, man. I'm attracting so many light people now. It comes to you. This is what I'm telling you guys, that we're actually God, man. All you got to do is speak up, and you raise your vibrational frequency, and you start walking in it. Have integrity. You change. And that's how you change the world, by changing yourself. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. We vibrate our way out of their bullshit. I'm not entitled to the system right now. I got out of corporate. I have my own business now. It's a humble business. I went from being a chef to owning a commercial cleaning company. I make way more money and I work way less. Even when I do work more, I make more and I feel better. I love it. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm going to a slave plantation. That's not the same thing about anybody else. But when I was a chef, I used that as an edge. I learned when I was a chef. That's how I learned about commercial cleaning. We used to hire cleaning companies. So it's not far fetched. I take care of restaurants. I take care of restaurants. You said they all lie. Yeah, they lied. They're a bunch of liars. They're a bunch of liars. That's what they do. They lie, right? They lied. They lied, and then they say the truth, right? And then we gotta be trust, and then this, and then they lied. They lied on the treaties with the Native Americans and how they stole this country and murdered 60 million Native Americans. Not only that, they murdered all of the buffaloes and they messed up everything else, right? But this is whatever. This is in the past. I'm not here to blame anybody or to whatever or to be fixated on that. It's just so that you guys can understand, right? Judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. And to understand that you don't have to become a part of this. You don't have to accept that lie. You can create your own reality. You can vibrate out of it. How do you do that? You do that by changing your mind. If you have trauma and you can't do that, how do you get out of these trauma things? I just told you a bunch of ways. It's up to you. You can choose. Anytime you want, you can make a decision. You can make a choice. You can say, I'm tired of this. I'm going to change right now. And a good way to change, honestly, is to go jogging or to do yoga or to put yourself through vigorous physical activity and then claim at that moment who you are. I'm powerful. I'm this. I'm that. I'm whatever. And eventually your body will start to believe it. And then once your body starts to believe it, you start to believe it. And you'll be like, oh, man, I am powerful. And you vibrate your way out of the low frequency realms, and you will get into a higher realm. You will vibrate yourself out of here, out of here, out of here, and you will start to come into right here. And then from right here, you'll be up here, up here, up here. Think about how this goes. It's like a story, right? It's like a story. You guys heard of the hero's journey? This is like the hero's journey in a way. You start out a baby, you're trying to figure out how to survive. You're afraid. Then next you get creative. That's your creative one. And you get creative on how to get out of it. Then once you get creative, you find out you got power. Once you got power, you're like, shoot, I got a lot of power. And then you come into love. You balance that power with love. And then once you have love, now you start speaking about the love. You start speaking it to everybody, right? And this is right here. And then once you start speaking it to everybody, now you see all. You're activated. You see everything. And then once you are there, you claim your crown. And as your crown, this is your temple, and you're the king. And now you become king. You become crowned, right? And then you take you actualize. You actualize. You activate. You activate. You activate. Don't forget who you are. Don't forget who you are. My name is Jonathan. Thanks for tuning in to Seven Circles. I appreciate each and one of you guys. If you haven't done so, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, and check out some more of my content. I love you guys.